hours today. And listen to this lineup. This is going to be the most incredible 4 hours of real estate talking, answering questions, giving instructions that's ever been had. And so listen to this. It starts off, I'm going to go through, I'm going to explain what wholesaling real estate is, but not only that, how to really succeed in 2024 and build a really strong, predictable business, right? We're going to start off with that, but then we get into the cowboy closer himself. Clifford Walker is going to be joining us. It's going to be absolutely incredible. He's going to be talking about how to go out and get your first deal. Then we're going to open this up to question and answers. I'm going to bring you on stage and answer your questions. This is an interactive show, so be ready. Certainly be ready, because we're going to be ringing this victory bell at some point during this show to celebrate the successes that you're having out there. I don't care if you're closing your first deal or your 100th deal. We want to celebrate your successes here on the Brent Daniels Real Estate Show. But it doesn't just stop there. Oh, no. Tom Kroll himself is coming on the show. He's on a cruise ship right now. He's coming on the show, and he's going to be talking about not just how to have a great year financially, but how to have the happiest year. The happiest year. I mean, we can make all the money that we want, but if we're not happy, if we don't have that joy, if we don't have fulfillment, then it's hollow. It's empty. It means nothing. So make sure that you stick around for Tom Kroll. He's my mentor. He's helped hundreds of thousands of people around the country. He's absolutely incredible. Then I'm going to go into how to make sure that every offer that you make to a property owner is an unstoppable offer. If they don't want cash, then what do you do? If they don't want creative, then what do you do? We're going to be breaking all of that down. It's going to be absolutely bananas. Matt Camp is going to join us from Deal Machine. They've got some really exciting things going on so that we can find the absolute best deals on the marketplace. We also have Jared Vidalis. Now, you might not know Jared Vidalis, but if you live in Phoenix and you're in real estate, you know Jared Vidalis, because Jared Vidalis is one of the most prolific real estate investors that has ever graced our beautiful state here. He's absolutely incredible. And his talk today is going to be on how to not become a tired landlord. Because the fact is, as wholesalers, 80%, upwards to 80% of our business is done with tired landlords. Why? Why are people buying investment properties and it ends up being an absolute nightmare for them? They buy these investment properties and they lose all of their money. We're going to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. And then we're going to round this show off with Jerry Norton, the flipping genius himself, is going to be joining us from Puerto Rico. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And he is going to have a talk all about what to expect in 2024. So listen, strap in, get ready. This is going to be the absolute most bananas show. And this is to say thank you. This is the Thanksgiving week show. This is a show that we love doing each year, and it's to give back and give gratitude to you guys. You guys are absolutely incredible. Whether you're part of the Rhino Tribe, whether you're in Wholesaling Inc., whether you are part of Sub 2, or you're Astro, or you're just here for the first time and you're just watching this for the first time, I want to say thank you. I want to celebrate you, and I want to give you exactly what you need to go out there and have an incredible next 12 months. So grateful for you. So let's jump right in here. Let's take a look at my iPad here and really break down what is wholesaling. What is wholesaling? Wholesaling, you've got a seller. You've got a motivated seller. You've got somebody that has a property and they have some personal problems with this property. It's typically run down. There's a lot of potential in this property. And here's you. You are powerful. You're out there and you just need to have a conversation with this property owner. That's how it all starts. It all starts with a conversation and making offers. That's how you find great opportunities. Now, I want you to imagine this, okay? Not even imagine this. I just want you to think about this. Have you ever turned your car in? Have you ever gone to a dealership and you bought a new car or used car or whatever, but you had your old car? And you could go get it detailed. You could take it down to the mechanic. You can go get it fixed up. You can make it smell good. You can get all the leather seats or your seats all, deodorized and looking good and feeling good. And you can fix everything going on with the engine. And you could go out there and you could sell it yourself. You can market it yourself. You can go and you can talk to all the different buyers out there. They're going to come around. They're going to kick the tires, literally. They're going to see what's going on. And you can sell it and you can get a lot more. You could get close to Kelley Blue Book. Well, but most of the time when we have these cars, we just turn it in to the dealership. Why do we do that? For speed and convenience. That's the same thing people do with houses. Wholesaling real estate is just like people turning in their car at the dealership because they just, you know what? I don't want to clean it up. I don't want to fix it up. How much will you give me? I know that I can make more if I get it all cleaned up, looking good, and I put it out into the market. I know that, but I don't want to do that. The reason I don't want to do that is because I have a life to live. I have things to do. I've got kids running around. I've got my parents getting older. I got all these things. Here you go. I don't want to spend my whole weekend selling this car. It's the same mentality people have with houses. So our job is to have conversations, make offers with people that want the speed and convenience. And when that happens, we come to an agreement. We come to an agreement on price and terms, and we put together a purchase contract. This is between us and the seller, a purchase agreement. A purchase agreement right here basically outlines our relationship. It talks about all the terms and the price of this transaction, all right? But guess what? This is the most beautiful part. This is the part most realtors don't understand. This is the part that most investors don't understand. It's the part that most people don't understand. As soon as they sign that purchase agreement, nobody else can buy that house. Nobody else. You have exclusive rights to purchase that property. What does that give you? That's an asset. You now have an asset. Out of thin air, you have asset. Matt, this thing's not charging, bud. Yeah. So you've got an asset. You've got an asset that you can sell that purchase agreement and make incredible profits. Well, who do you sell it to? You sell it to a cash investor. You sell it to a cash buyer that wants to flip that property. They want to hold that property. They want that deal. It's a great opportunity and they love it. They love that deal so much, right? And they are willing to pay you a fee for that. So that's the relationship between you. And that is done with an assignment agreement. This goes in conjunction with the purchase agreement. This essentially takes the cash buyer and puts the cash buyer into the purchase agreement, and you are out of the purchase agreement. That's what an assignment agreement does. And so they will pay you an assignment fee. Boom. Now, some fees, the average fee around the country is about $15,000. $15,000 for that assignment fee. It's absolutely bananas just from going and having a conversation with somebody that owns a rundown house, going and putting an offer together with somebody that owns a rundown house. Is it working, Matt? I don't know. Technical difficulties here. But that's what wholesaling is. I mean, that's essentially the breakdown of what wholesaling is. And guess what? You can do it over, and thank you, Matt, and over and over and over again. Look at this. Why would anybody sell their property? Because they're in distress. There's 3 different buckets of distress that a property owner is in. Either they're in financial distress, they've got the condition of the property is the distress. They don't have the money to fix it up. They don't have the money. Financial distress would be like missing payments, right? Or you have a big tax lien, or IRS is coming after you, or whatever. They just have to sell their property as fast as possible and get it done, right? They can't keep up with the property anymore. They can't pay their mortgage anymore. It's financial distress. Condition is it's just a rough looking house. It's just a house that needs significant renovation and rehab. And so, and a lot of people don't have the budget to be able to do that. So they sell it because of the condition of the house. And the last one is emotional distress. Let me explain this one. And this is the best example I can think of. We talked to a seller. She was the daughter, and she had just inherited a property from her father. Unfortunately, she didn't even know that this property exists. This was a property that her father bought with his mistress. Not her mom, not his wife, his mistress. And he would escape out to this property in Flagstaff, Arizona, and they would just have a grand old time. And the daughter inherits this property after her father passes, finds all this out, all these pictures about her dad's secret life. She wanted nothing to do with the property. She didn't want to put it on the market. She didn't want to clean it out. She didn't want to do anything. She wanted somebody to come in and give her a cash as is offer and just get rid of that property. Get rid of it. I don't know what she did with the money. I don't even know if she kept the money. She just wanted it to be done and dusted. Didn't want it. This happens all the time. Not that specific, but there's emotional reasons that people sell their properties all the time or don't want their properties all the time. So when you're thinking about going out there and you're like, okay, Brent, I'm going to take some serious action. I'm going to go find some great opportunities out there. But I just don't understand why somebody would sell their property for 50 cents on the dollar, 60 cents on the dollar, 70 cents on the dollar. I don't understand why people wouldn't just put it on the market. I don't understand why people wouldn't just fix it up and sell it for as much as possible. It happens every single second of every single minute, of every single hour, of every single day. It happens. It's happening right now. Ryan, my acquisition manager, is on 2 appointments, not at the same time. He's got one back and then another one. But he's on there right now, speaking with people that want to sell their properties. One, the sister lives in the property, hasn't been making any payments, hasn't paid rent in 3 years. 3 years. And he's asked her to pay rent. She won't pay rent. And her and her friends do nefarious things inside this property that he doesn't like. So he's like, you know what? I'm done with it. I'm selling this property to you guys. I don't want to deal with it. The sister won't even let us into the property. So we have to kind of talk to the sister between a screen door and have this conversation and explain what's going on. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. We have another appointment that we're going out. The property is not renovated. It's in a retirement community. The owner no longer wants to live here anymore, and they don't want to fix it up. They just want to be done with it. They just want to move. I think they're going to Florida, or California or something. They wanted some ocean. We don't have an ocean in Phoenix, Arizona. So they just want to be done with it. And the property's in rough shape. Property needs significant renovation and rehab. This happens all the time. All the time. But remember this. Speed, convenience, price. Speed, convenience, and price. A property owner, every time that they're going to sell a property, even yourself, every time you sell a property, speed, convenience, and price, and you only get to pick 2. You only get to pick 2. Most people want the speed and the price, and they're willing to be inconvenienced because it's not convenient to put your house on the market. It's not convenient for people to come through your house and walk through your house and go and judge your house and do all these things. It's not convenient, but people do it all the time. For the people that want speed and convenience, that's where wholesalers come in. And we feel a wonderful part of this market. We find a really, really, really important part of this market. And it's really important to do that. So think about it. You go out there, you have a conversation, you drive. And we'll have Matt Camp on with Deal Machine. They have the best Driving for Dollars app of all time. You literally drive in the streets in your area, and you find a rundown property. And then you get the owner's phone number. It's everywhere. You can go online right now and find anybody's phone number. You can do something called skip tracing and really find the number. You could go to True People Search right now and find phone numbers. It's incredible. You could call them up and ask them if they would consider an offer on their property. And then from there, it builds and builds and builds. And that's how I did my first 20 deals. That's how I was able to claw out of the financial hole I put myself in when I was a young man. When I was in my 20s, I lost it all. I had the Mercedes and the Range Rovers and the 3,500 square foot house with just me and my wife and some dogs. It was ridiculous. It was totally ridiculous. But I wanted to flex. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to do these things. I signed an office lease for 10 years in January of 2008. And by October of 2008, the whole economic world melted. I had adjustable rate mortgages on 5 rental properties, 4 rental properties, and my primary residence. Lost them all when the rates adjusted. And then the tenants didn't pay. And so 5 foreclosures, both those cars got repoed, divorce, have an office lease judgment. If you put a personal guarantee on an office lease and you don't pay it, and it was a huge office, I went big, guys. I went real big, right? I was like, you got to go big. You got to really challenge yourself. This is what's going to keep you hungry. It's young man thoughts. young man thoughts. I would slap that guy now. But I did. I put an office lease. I got a personal judgment on there. It was $742,000 that I owed for the remainder of this lease. And I got sued. I got a judgment. And then out of all that, I have no money. I have a car that my dad gave me, which was a 2000 ES300. And it was like a sand color. It was like the worst color you've ever seen in your life. And I would just drive around, and the leather was all beat up, and it was all kind of stinky. And I would drive around, and I would just write down addresses of ugly houses. And then I would find the phone numbers, and I would call them up. And that's how I did my first 20 deals. That's how I paid off all those debts. That's how I hired a lawyer. That's how I got out of everything. And I tell you that story just because I am telling you, if you have enough conversations and make enough offers to people that own rundown houses, everything that you want financially can happen. Everything. So let me fast forward it to today, because when that was happening, that was 2013. I've been doing this 10 years. I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. I didn't even know it was called wholesaling. I was just trying to find opportunities. I knew that there was investors that wanted to buy in certain areas, so I was driving in those areas, writing down addresses, calling up the owners, finding opportunities, selling it to these investors. So now let's fast forward to this year. I'll tell you my current year results. Now, let me tell you this. If you find another person on YouTube, another person on Instagram, I see you Instagram, TikTok, anywhere, any of these investors, they're going to show you the numbers like I'm about to show you, the real numbers. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see somebody that has the courage to be able to do that. I don't care. I'm going to show you everything, because like, what do I have? Life's too short to like bullshit. You know what I mean? So let's take a look at where we're at this year. Here we go. All right, let's pull this up. So far, we're at 62 deals, 1,583,000 in income. Our average deal size is 25,532. And let me speak to this a little bit. In 2021, that number was over 50,000. 50,000. And then June of 2022, interest rates started rising. Things got tighter. Our income per deal went down 50%. This caused a lot of people to go out of this business. Caused a lot of people to rush out of here because they just couldn't keep the margins. And we do good big deals. We do solid deals. But that's our average, 25,532. We have 5 more deals to sell. 3 of them we have under contract. 2 we'll have under contract this week. So that number we're really pushing to hit over 1.7 million, 1.75 million. Okay. Now, if you look at the marketing budget, that's my marketing budget. That's exactly what I've spent so far year to date. I pulled it all up. 51,000 on text message marketing has been bananas this year. Look at that return on investment. That is bananas. It's 9 times. You give me $1, I'll give you 9. That's crazy, right? Cold calling, 47,000 for just under 200,000. PPC is by far the big rhinoceros in the room. Let me tell you this. All roads lead to pay-per-click. All roads lead to pay-per-click. And let me just explain to you what it's going to cost you, because we've ramped this thing up, and there's a certain sweet spot with budget there. To have somebody that really knows what they're doing, it's $2,500 just for them to run your account. That's it. You don't want to run it yourself unless you have a background in direct marketing, right? In Google marketing specifically, and you're really on top of it and you really love it. If not, spend the money, have a pro do it and get it done. If you're in a major market or surrounding a major market that has over 100,000, let's say over 500,000. If you have a market that's over 500,000, your minimum monthly budget for Google is 10,000. Minimum. Okay? I'm gonna throw a little bit here. I'm gonna throw a little bit there. I'm gonna do a little bit here. It's not gonna work. You might as well just take all that money and just throw it all away. Actually, take all that money. What did they say back in the day? And give it to give it to the fundraisers for whatever political alignment you're not. right? Give it to the Democrats, give it to the Republicans, give it to the independents, whatever. You know what I mean? That's how you should feel about it. So 10,000 minimum in major markets for pay-per-click. But I am telling you, oh boy, I am telling you. Sorry, Matt. He hates when I do that. I'm telling you, it is bananas. They're the best leads. They're the best leads. They're the fastest leads. They are people that want to sell right now. The conversation that you have with somebody when they are calling you versus you calling them is so much easier. So much easier. Now, it's more competitive. You got to really have your sales skills on, your acquisition skills on, but you got that on and you're going to be unstoppable. Next, we started with TV commercials. Now, this one looks like it's kind of a push, but this is more of a branding play here locally. And so I think it's really affecting some of the pay-per-click and some of the other referrals that we get. We've spent 111 in TV commercials, made 136 that we can actually track. It's kind of tough. The $0 cost for referrals, 108,000. That's JVs. That's selling some other deals. I have spent 690,000 on salaries, commissions, and operating costs, and the profit so far this year is 527, 248, and counting. We've got 5 more deals to close and sell before the end of the year. Now, might be like 527,000. Imagine, right? This is 11 months. That's 11 months. So it's essentially like 50 grand a month gets wired into my account. I mean, come on. Come on. Now, let me tell you this. I was on the phone and I talked to 45,000 property owners myself before I hired anybody. I had to get out of that hole. I had to be in that hustle season. I had to prove to myself that I could do this. I wasn't a salesman growing up. I was scared to death. My dad would have to sell all my candy bars. He would have to do all the fundraising for the scouts and for the baseball and the football teams and all that stuff. You know, I wasn't naturally, I wasn't put in that position. I wasn't comfortable in that position until I lost everything. And then you have to be in that position. And so there is a hustle season part of this business. But now, Wednesdays from 2 to 5, I audit the leads with Jackie, my operations manager, my lead manager. She's absolute superstar. I love her. Shout out, Jackie. You're the best. And then 2 hours on Friday, we have a team meeting here in the office. And we put up on this big screen right here, we put all our numbers, we do our scoreboard, and that's it, 5 hours a week. 5 hours a week is what I put into the business, besides, just talking to the team and talking deals, because I love that. And I'm a deal junkie. But to think that, 10 years ago, I didn't have anything. And to now it's at that point, you can build a real business here. You can build a real business that is a servant to you and you're not a servant to it. You truly can. But this is what it's going to take. I'm going to show you right here. This is what it's going to take. These are the 5 steps right here. Let me get this going here. Let me zoom this in a little bit. Number 1 is discovery. All right? Maybe this is your first time. Maybe you're watching this on Instagram. Maybe you're watching it on TikTok. Maybe you're watching it here on the YouTube channel. Maybe you just stumbled upon my channel and you're like, who is this guy with the tiny t-shirt and the slime green G-Shock talking all this stuff? You just discovered it. Congratulations. Your life will never change. Will never change. Will never be the same. There you go. I think that's the phrase. Your life has changed forever. There you go. Number 1 is discovery. Once you know that this is a possibility, that you can go out there and find these opportunities, it's the reticular activator, right? That's that thing that you go out and I just bought a new Ultimate Denali, right? And I see Denalis everywhere now. Everywhere now. I never saw them before. But now you're like, oh my gosh, I see ugly houses everywhere. Oh my gosh, there's lists that I can get of all the people that are in pre-foreclosure, all the people that haven't made a payment in the last 30, 60, 90 days. I can see all the people that just went through probate and inherited the property. I can see all the people that are tired landlords, all the people that owe property taxes. I can see all of these and I could just reach out to them and see if I could buy their house. Step 2, proof of concept. Proof of concept. Now you got to cross that bridge from faith to fact, right? Faith is fantastic. Faith is what gets us going. Faith is that you got that hunger inside you, got that dog inside you, and you're like, okay, I can do this, and you got the faith in it. And then once you close your first deal, just like that, your brain knows that you can do it. Proof of concept. So you can do it over and over and over. And then you get real excited about it. You get real excited about going after all these opportunities. You get so excited that you're obsessed with it. You go and you find deals all the time, and you start getting consistent. You start having consistent conversations, making consistent offers to these property owners. And then all of a sudden, you're making so much and you've got a pipeline of deals that are closing that you get to fire your boss. What a great day. You get to fire your boss. And that's not negative. I don't want that to be negative. It's not like you going in there and like putting on a whole show, right? But you get to just say, you know what? I'm ready to start my own business. I'm ready to get going. Next is you get to fire yourself. That's what I started doing. A few years ago, I started removing myself from certain roles in the business. And then the fifth step is you get to cherry pick the absolute best deals. By the way, Clifford Walker is about to blow your face off. He's about to jump on here. His heart for this business, his heart for this industry, his heart for everybody, combined with his massive action, him just going, he was a truck driver. He was driving trucks. Now he's a full-time real estate entrepreneur, baby. You can't stop this man. You can't stop this man. It's going to be absolutely credible. I'm going to bring him up in 2 minutes. But let me finish my thought here. The last step is you get to pick and cherry pick the absolute best deals. The fifth one is you go out and you buy the best deals. So let's take a look at this because I think that this is really important. Let's take a look at this right here. Okay? If you can full screen that, Matt, I would love that. All right? We got the buy the best deals. This is the steps, though. Here's the problem. When you go in from here, step one, where you get discovery, to here, there's going to be this plateau here every single time. And you're going to think that you're not going anywhere. But if you stay focused and you stick to the plan, you win. It's when you start messing around in this flat part, and it is inevitable because there's fear built in there. There's fear of taking the next step. There's fear of the unknown. There's fear in growth. There's fear in all of these things that make us stronger. But that's the whole point. We have to go through those steps to get to the other side. And we do that through massive and perfect action. We do that through focusing on progress, not perfection. And we do that by outworking your self-doubt. I think that's what's the guy that runs around all the time and he's like a Navy SEAL? That was his saying. Outwork your self-doubt. Somebody in the comments let me know. He's the Navy SEAL guy that's always running around screaming at everybody. What? David Goggins. Yeah, David Goggins. That's it. Outwork your self-doubt. Those are the things. When you're going through these 5 steps, when you're being able to build on each and every single one of these steps, when you're going through those plateaus where you feel like, wait a second, am I taking a step backwards? Wait a second, I want this to go faster. Wait a second, I wish that I could go and buy all these great properties right now, but I don't have enough money. I don't have enough experience. Enjoy it. I'm telling you, the road is better than the resort. The road to the resort is way better than the destination. That's the whole thing. That's the whole progress, not perfection. That's the whole massive imperfect action. You're going to fail and fail and fail and fail and then fail. And then you're going to, fail. And it's just going to keep pushing you up forward. Keep pushing you up higher. And you're going to win. And speaking of winners, I think this is a perfect transition. Bring on our first guest, guys. We're going 4 hours today. We're in this thing 30 minutes. We're not even done with the first quarter. So exciting. Stick with us. We've got an incredible lineup. But listen, if you don't know Clifford Walker, you're going to become a fan of Clifford Walker in about 3 seconds. So with that, is Clifford ready?
Yep.
Let's bring Clifford on. What's up, brother?
Let's go. What is going on, brother?
I'm excited. I'm excited that you are here. I'm so happy. We are giving back today, Clifford. We're giving back. It is the week of Thanksgiving, and I was just so excited to have you on here because I love your story. I love how you got started. So give everybody the quick version of who you are and what you're doing in this business.
Man, I love it. I'm excited to be here, giving back. Come on, that's right up my alley. What's funny, I see you have the book, The Go-Giver, there on your desk. I literally had a dinner and gave everybody that book. Let's go. It's powerful.
That's it. Yep.
Who am I? A country boy from Texas that went from truck driver to real estate investor. I've been in it about 4 years now. Got 6 deals my first month, rocking and rolling, talking to people. That's it. And fast forward, here I am, still rocking and rolling, still growing, still working on firing myself out of all the positions, but I'm still moving up the ladder.
I love it. You talk about 3 Ds, and I have my 3 Ds, but let's trade 3 Ds here. You tell me your 3 Ds, I'll tell you my 3 Ds, and we'll explain why it matters.
Okay. 3 Ds in regards to just what's important to me here.
Yes. We had a conversation. Sorry, I put you on the spot here. Mm-hmm. You had a conversation of having 3 Ds. I have it in my notes somewhere, but distract. No.
It's slipping my mind.
We'll keep going. I'll tell you my 3 Ds, and maybe your 3 Ds will pop up. I talk about doubt, distraction, and disappointment, right? Okay. Overcoming the 3 Ds of doubt, distraction, and disappointment. And it's really important to understand that we all go through doubts. Mm-hmm. We all go through disappointment. We all go through distraction. But who are we surrounding ourselves with? Who's going to be the ones that are going to lift us up? Who are going to be the ones that are going to support us? Who are going to be the ones that have our back and let us know that we're not on an island by ourselves? You know what I mean? That's why I think it's so critical that the step 1 of discovering this business is you got to find a tribe. You got to find people to squat up with. You got to find people doing this business because it's so important to be able to go to somebody and get the answers that you need and not feel like you're doing this all by yourself. What do you think?
100% agree. What's the saying? Oh Lord, I'm drawing blanks today. It talks about your network is your net worth, right? Same thing. You have to put yourself in an environment to grow, to change, to develop, and think different. 100%. You have to definitely connect with the tribe and get connected to the right people. I think is extremely important.
So what'd you do? How'd you do it? You were driving trucks, and then all of a sudden, in your first month, you do 6 deals. And that's what we're really talking about here, Clifford. I want you to tell people how they can go out and get their first deal.
It's like you said, talking to people, though. You have to take massive action, right? I will say that a lot of people get scared. They get nervous. They're worried about saying the wrong things. I kind of chimed in a little bit before I went on, and I heard some of your conversation. You were talking about failing and failing and failing. I've messed up probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of phone calls that I probably just bummed or I got cussed out, but I kept telling myself, oh, well, I guess that's not the family I'm supposed to serve today. And then I would just move on to the next person. But it's just about taking that massive action and talking to people.
And so what did you do? Did you just make calls driving a truck? Did you wait till you stopped? Did you wait till you got home? I mean, what do you do?
Yeah. So what I would do every time I got home, I would literally print off like the pre-foreclosure list and I would have it with me. And at the time, I didn't even have a dialer system. So I would literally be looking at my list and dialing hundreds of people of numbers on my phone every day, all day for like 11 hours, 10, 11 hours a day. Probably wasn't the safest thing for me to do, but I knew that I needed to take massive action. And I knew that I needed to make a change. But it was so funny because even while I was driving and doing that, when I was at the truck stops waiting to get unloaded or at these warehouses, I also loaded my truck up with bandit signs. So I would literally be filling out bandit signs. So when I got home, I immediately started putting those out as well.
Love it. So just obsessed.
Yeah, definitely coming obsessed with it. You
So
have to.
what was the first deal?
So
you did 6 in the first month. What was the first one?
So it's funny. I actually have two first deals, and I'll explain here in a minute. I got the first one that I have under contract, and then I have the first one that I actually got paid on because they didn't close all at the same time. Right. But let me tell you about the first one that I got paid on. And you mentioned proof of concept. So I had a property out in Arlington, Texas, if anybody's familiar with the DFW. This was a property that was going in foreclosure. The husband and wife were also going through a divorce. And so I had called them while I was over the road. When I got there, I scheduled my appointment when I got home to actually go visit and walk the property. And the property wasn't just damaged completely, but they were in a distressed situation.
Yeah.
So I go over here, I meet the husband and wife, and they're literally arguing, like legit arguing to where I had to put them in separate rooms. Brent, I am not kidding you. I'm like, am I being punked right now? Like, what is going on here? I was kind of real estate investor, marriage counselor, referee. I'm like, it was insane. But so long story short, I end up getting the contract signed and I get it wholesaled to another investor, and I made a whopping $7,000.
There you go. Hold on a second. Come on.
Let's go. But what that gave to me was the proof of concept that you mentioned.
Yep.
It's like, you mean to tell me I can solve people's problem? I can talk to people on the phone. I can be home, not away from my family over the road, and make money doing it. Like, and being full transparent, truck driving, I mean, 7K in one deal, that's a good paycheck, right? And so I will say I've gone on to do more. My biggest deal up to date is 74,000. But even this week alone, just literally this week, we did one for 65K.
Yep.
My partner and I. So it's insane what you can do and the income you can make by solving people's problems.
That's it. And you didn't, it's not like you went to real estate sales school, wholesaling school, all these, college and going through all this. You went out and just started talking with people, started calling up pre-foreclosures, started going in there and solving the problems of these property owners. And that's what it is all about. And I love it. I feel like the 3Ds that I feel like you said something like destiny demands decision or something. I don't know. It's one of those. I know it's in that brain, and I'm going to pull it out before we get off. It's one of those. It's hanging there. I know it's in the note. It's in that graph paper notes. I'm telling you. Anyway, Clifford, talk to me. You sent me.
Destiny develops, determines. Oh Lord, it's slipping my mind. I'm struggling today. We'll figure it out before I leave here. I promise.
Now you have a book that you sent me. Absolutely incredible. Talking about your whole journey. Why did you write that book? What's it about?
The change within myself, personally. It's not actually a real estate book per se. I was sitting there on the patio one evening and just thinking about the goodness of God and the personal growth within myself. Because y'all, I don't have any leadership experience. I didn't have any business experience. I didn't come from a rich family, none of that stuff. So over the last 4 years of me doing this business, I've learned and grown so much as an individual. And so I'm like, I should write that in a book, right? And so literally, I went in the house, got my laptop, and started pecking away. And a few months later, my wife didn't even know I was doing it. I came to her and I'm like, hey, babe, I wrote a book. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I legit wrote a book. Here, check it out. And that's kind of what happened. I just wanted to share, the transformation that I've had to have personally within myself.
Right.
Yeah, the Clifford that's here on this call with you is not the same person from 5 years ago, from 10 years ago.
Oh, no. Listen, the 10 years ago, I was the biggest knucklehead you've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's so much growth. I mean, if you really just understand how powerful this business is, and how if you just stay focused on it and really focus on solving the problems, that's why I love your message, because your message is all about the heart of it. Yes, you're closing $74,000 deals, $65,000 deals, big, massive deals. But to be able to get that income, you have to provide $74,000 or $65,000 worth of value.
100%.
That's the equation.
And it's all around serving other people. My motto is, y'all, we are building generational wealth by serving other people. That's it. That is what it's about. When I start a conversation with a seller, I don't go in there talking about the bedroom, bathroom count. Right. Brent, if I'm giving you a call and I'm talking about what's your square feet and all that, you don't care about that. You don't care if I'm going to flip a property. You care about how I'm going to solve the problem and provide a solution for the thing that you're going through. That's what it is, and that's what it's about. And I believe, yes, destiny demands development. Thank you.
With the same.
Let's go. Come on, brother. Thank you. I owe you a bourbon for that one. You saved me.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Destiny demands development.
It does.
So now that you're already, so how do people get their first deal? Going back, if somebody's sitting in your office right now with you, and they have those stars in their eyes, they have a big smile on their face, they got a big heart, and they're like, Cliff, how do I do this? How do I go out and get my first deal? What do you tell them?
I tell them, literally pick up the phone and start focusing on having quality conversations. And I got the quality conversations from you, because that's what it's about. Like, people will sell their property because they're going through a season in their life, and they feel like the speed and convenience that we offer as investors will provide a solution for the thing that they're going through. So literally get out of your head, and I say that respectfully to everybody, pick up the phone and start talking to people. We are looking for people that need to sell a house, not just want to sell a house, not thinking about it. They need to sell because of the situation they're going through. That's it. It's not rocket science.
That's it. How can people find you?
Instagram, YouTube, Clifford, the Cowboy Closer.
Awesome.
Social media.
Guys, follow Clifford. He's absolutely incredible. He is, you're going out and you're being loud, and you're helping a lot of people, and you're putting out content and books, and it's just that you have that perfect shot of like optimism and positivity that people need every single day watching your stuff. So guys, make sure that you check out Clifford's Instagram. And how do they get your book?
It's on Amazon.
What is it called?
The Roadmap to Success.
Roadmap to Success. Clifford Walker. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Destiny demands development.
I love it.
All right, Clifford, thank you so much for jumping on here. You're absolutely incredible. Find him there, Clifford, the Cowboy Closer, and make sure that you get into his world. And guys, if you got some value out of Clifford, or just want to continue the dialogue, make sure that you send him a direct message. It's 2023. And yes, I just called it direct message and not DM, because I'm being formal. I'm writing in cursive here. All right. So make sure that you reach out to Clifford and connect. He's absolutely incredible. Thank you, Clifford, for jumping on here. And Destiny demands development. Boom. Crushed it. Awesome. Guys, we're moving on to the question and answer portion of this show. Please be brave. If you have any questions in the comments section, there is a link in there that you can jump on. We will bring you on stage.
Yeah, no one's been brave yet.
No one's been brave yet.
I've been hounding them for 20 minutes.
Do we have any regular questions? And we'll just do that.
Yeah, I do. Oh, someone just jumped on. I do have regular questions.
All right, we've got somebody that wants to jump on and is brave to be on this show.
Answer that while I get them set.
Here we go. The real estate blog, wholesaling. Where are you targeting for pay-per-click? We're targeting in Phoenix, Maricopa County, Pinal County, and Yavapai County, and Coconino County. So that's where we are targeting our PPC. Yep. We were looking at doing some like outskirts, just trying to really dominate the outskirts. But obviously the issue that you run into is, do you have investors in the outskirts? So just remember, yes, it's really competitive in these big major markets. Sure. But you also have the most buyers. They're the bigger deals, and typically they're higher price points. So don't be scared of the big time markets, because you can absolutely dominate for sure.
Awesome. Just getting them to get their cameras on.
Get the cameras on. Josie, how can someone do this virtually if they're overseas? Great question. Listen, we have some incredible rhinos that are overseas. We've got, probably a dozen in Israel, in Europe, in Africa, in Australia. And so, Josie, the most of it, 85% of this business is done over the phone. What I would highly suggest is pick a market that you really want to do this virtually, and find somebody that's in that market that will connect with you, whether that be a real estate agent or a wholesaler. I like the real estate agent approach because you could be on the phones or doing your lead generation all day, and there's going to be oftentimes where the property owners that you're speaking to want retail value. They just want full value. They just want a realtor to sell it for them, and you send that to them. You can't get a referral fee unless you're licensed, which is fine. But this is more building that relationship. And now they'll go on appointments for you. Now they'll go out there and get agreements signed, or they'll go out there and show your buyers the properties. You need boots on the ground for sure. We talk about it all the time. We have a training course, and we have a support call every single week with Daniel Nissim. He is in Tel Aviv, Israel right now, virtually wholesaling right now. With everything going on in the Holy Land right now, he is he's doing it. I mean, he is he's doing this business, so it's absolutely incredible. So if he can do it, you certainly can do it. Talk about Dimitri Van Kamp. Maybe he's on here watching. He's in Belgium and he's doing deals in Florida. He does like 100 deals a year. I mean, you could definitely do this business. Most of it's done on the phone, but just also have boots on the ground. And that leads me to what's going on. Our sponsor for today is myself. Boom. Black Friday sale, guys. Absolutely bananas what we're offering. If you just want to dip your toe in, the Leads Unleashed is absolutely bananas. The Rhino Suite for $97 is a no-brainer. Absolutely ridiculous. That's just getting you all the information. And then if you want to take it one step further and get all of the support, we do over 40 support calls, 40 hours of support calls every single week on all different types of things, whether it be just general question and answers, calling leads live. We're literally calling owners of properties live. Our own leads in my own business, my acquisition managers do this live. We have people that get together and they're making their cold calls. They're responding. That we go creative finance. We do virtual wholesaling. We do working with agents. We do absolutely everything in the Rhino Tribe. If you are interested in joining the most proactive group in real estate investing, definitely check this out. You get $1,000 off this week only. So check that out. All right.
Got one ready.
Let's go. Question and answers.
Here comes Ike.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
How are you? What's your name?
I'm great. Ike Jones out of Envy.
Ike.
Been investing for a few years. Got started during COVID. Actually wanted to start when I was younger, but was completely terrified.
Sure.
But then I got COVID and my son's on the spectrum. So I realized like, hey, he might not have anything if I'm not here.
Right.
So I need to set him up for success. So we got a couple of rentals. That's been going great. Done a couple flips, financed the deal. And Big shout out to my wife. She just retired from teaching at the old age of 34 to do this full-time wholesaling thing.
Awesome.
She just got her first deal under contract, is about to have a second deal under contract.
Hold on a second, Ike. Come on.
Ring that bell. Yeah. So she's out here killing it. We're focusing on pre-foreclosures. So great there. My question is structuring the disposition. Do you recommend just setting it up as an assignment? I've seen two different ways, right? I've seen people set it up where they have the price that we have it for, and then they just list an assignment fee, or they list it as just both of those numbers together.
I like it both together, Ike. By the way, what's your wife's name?
Libby.
Libby, shout out to you. And listen, you have my heart, Ike. I also, my 12-year-old, whose birthday yesterday, is on the spectrum, nonverbal. And so I understand that fire. I understand what, somewhat what you're going through. Everybody goes through something different, but it is certainly, it builds that fire, man. It absolutely does, because that's a lifelong responsibility. It's not just at 18, they're off and doing their thing, right? So you have to plan now. You have to work now. You have to build it now. I am 100% supportive of that. So congratulations on all that. I put it as one price. We put it as one price and just put it out there so that people know, okay, if they're at this price, they run their numbers based on that. You know what I mean? And I don't necessarily need them to know how much I'm making off the bat. Because there's some investors in town that are like, hey, listen, yeah, I'll pay a wholesaler, but I'm not going to pay more than 10 grand. You're like, what?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if it's a good deal and the numbers make sense, what do you care what I make? So
that's how I feel.
I would do it as one number, Ike, for sure.
All right. Appreciate it. And hey, appreciate the podcast. Love it. Listen all the time.
Awesome.
Love the info out there. Anyone in the Indy area, you can find me, Ike, at reidealanalyzer.com. That's our solution for new investors that need help analyzing deals.
Awesome.
But you can reach me there.
What is it again? Say it again so that everybody can grab on there, Ike.
Ike at reidealanalyzer.com.
Guys, reach out to Ike, especially if you're in Indy, and he will help you out, especially if you're getting started. You need somebody to double check. You need somebody to underwrite your deals to make sure if it's a deal or not. Because Ike, right? It's when you get started, the toughest part is this a deal or not a deal? You know what I mean?
Everything's easy, but everything is hard, right?
That's it. That's exactly
it's
right.
all simple math, but getting the motion going is hard.
Yeah. Love it. Thanks for jumping on here and being brave.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
awesome, Mike. Say hi to Libby. Awesome. Great. I like that market in Indianapolis. I do. I think that as long as you stay in the higher price points, and that leads me to a thought. Make sure if you're in a market that has lower priced properties, I really would encourage you to go after the neighborhoods where fixed up it goes for over $150,000. All right. Now listen, there's riches in the niches. There's riches in every single neighborhood. It just comes down to price. But fact is, some of the properties that are still worth $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 need $80,000, $90,000, and $100,000 worth of work. So there's some different strategies to use with those, but for the most part, it's kind of a fist fight to get those deals, to get good spreads in those deals, just because they're just too tight. So there you go. Any other questions? Oh, Jared, there we go. With the new regulations on SMS marketing, are you still using it? If so, what are your KPIs on that? This is great. Thank you, Jared. Because let's go back real quick so that everybody can see if they're just jumping on. Here's the breakdown of my company here this year. And if you look at this part, I can't zoom this in, I guess. Text message marketing was a great income source. Number 2 behind the king with the crown, pay-per-click. It's been explosive for us, Jared. Last year it was low. Last year was more like the cold calling numbers. And last year in the cold calling numbers, it was 800,000 we made. So those kind of ebb and flow. So something to expect there. That's why I'm saying all roads lead to pay-per-click, because it's always going to be a thing. I don't care about AI is only going to increase it. Okay. But with text message marketing, it's not regulations is kind of a strong word. I think the better is just filters that the carriers have. This isn't a TCPA thing, the Telecommunications Protection Act. This is more what the carriers want to deliver. There's just a tremendous amount of scams involved in text message marketing, so they just clamped it all down. Unless you're a politician. If you're a politician, get ready. Get ready. They're coming. Here comes all the political text. But whatever. Politics can send text messages and do bandit signs, but we can't. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Two sets of rules. But text message marketing right now is goofy. You have to get opt-in before you can talk to them. So you have to like ask them like really interesting, vague questions to see if they want more information, and then you can go after it. So there you go. But anyway, it's slowed down a lot. It's slowed down considerably, Jared. I mean, it's just a whole different game. But here's the thing. Everybody runs over here, and then the person that stayed over here wins. So I think that there's still opportunity. I personally use Launch Control. They've done very well for us. They treat us fantastic. They've got a great soul to their company, I would say. And so I'm going to keep doing it while everybody else is moving and just see if we get anything. If we don't, then we'll adjust. But I think it's too early to tell. I think you need 90 more days, because this really just happened last 30 days or so where they really clamped down. All right. Daniel, Brent, locked up a deal on Friday for $50,000. Found a buyer for $118,000. I'm double closing, and it closes December 1st. Second big deal of my career. Found the buyer by putting the deal on the MLS. We're going to break this all down. Daniel, come on. You are an animal. Come on. Absolutely incredible. I don't know how that bell sounds with this lapel mic. I assume it's just horrifying. So I really apologize, but every so often you need an annoying sound to shock your system. Probably not. I'm sorry, but I love it, and I love supporting Daniel here. Listen, it's really interesting. At wholesalinginc.com, you can go and you can download a ton of different things for free, and one of those resources is our purchase agreement. In our purchase agreement, it gives the right to put the property on the MLS. Now, some property owners, I bet the bell is nice and clear. Some people want us to cross that off, which is fine. But if you use that, then at least you have the right to put it on the MLS. Now, I would find out what how to do it right for each and every different MLS, because they're all different, and just make sure that you're within whatever guidelines they have and whatever disclosures they need. And yeah, I mean, listen, it's really interesting because I would say the MLS is the best cash buyer database possible, unless you're in Phoenix. I'm just telling you, we make more. We have put properties on the MLS. We put properties to our cash buyer database. Our cash buyer database has beat it every time. Every time. Because remember, when you put it on the MLS, you got to put out the buyer broker, right? Got to put out the buyer broker stuff, and you got to make sure that what I mean by buyer broker. Sorry, I've been in real estate since 2004. So you got to put out a commission for the buyer's agents to bring you a buyer for that. And so you got to sell them for more if you put them on the MLS typically. But can you pull that up one more time, Daniels? Because I think that we kind of I didn't do it justice here. That's like a $50K plus deal.
Yeah, it was.
And he got it for like $60,000. $60,000. It's fine, man. $60,000. He got it and sold it for $111 or something, $114. What is it worth? It's got to be worth something crazy. It's got to be worth something great, and he got it for $60,000 every single second of every single day, minute, hour, day, week, people are going in to the dealership. They're turning in their old beat up car. They're not fixing it up. They're not bringing it to the mechanic. They're not putting new tires on it. They're not putting a new paint job on it. They just want to get done with it. It's what people do with houses. It's what people do with houses. It took me forever to figure this out. It was right there in front of me. Some of the stories in the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, not this one, the extended one, talk about how he locked up an apartment complex, locked it up, went to go find financial partners. The financial partner goes, hey, listen, Robert Kiyosaki, why don't I just buy this? Why don't I just replace you in the contract, and I'll pay you 50 grand. That's an assignment fee. That's wholesaling. It was sitting there right there for years. I never saw it, never understood it. That's why I want to like stand up here for hours and hours and hours and just shout and scream across the whole internets that there are so many houses. There are way more houses than there are us to solve that problem. And it's a problem. If you ever have a property that you can't keep up with, you can't pay property taxes, properties are living, breathing things. They're living, breathing things. They're exposed to the elements. If they're not constantly taken care of, they decrease in value. You wouldn't put a Lamborghini in the middle of the desert and just let it sit out there. Every house is in the middle of the desert or in the middle of the woods or in the middle of wherever you live, by the beach. They're exposed. They need renovations all the time. That's something that we're going to bring up with Jared Vidalis when we're talking about not becoming a tired landlord, because that's going to be really critical. All right? But I think we've got Matt Camp coming on here. Speaking of these ugly properties, I used to drive around with a notepad and a pen and paper and write down the addresses, go home, do all the research, see who owned them, see how long they owned them, what was going on, find their phone number, all those things. And then Deal Machine came around about 2016 or 17, maybe 17. David Lecko, an investor himself, the creator and owner of Deal Machine, decided, you know what? I'm a smart guy. I know other smart guys. Let me build an app that you could just go around on your phone, and if you see an ugly house, you just click this little button, and it puts it all into a database. And then a couple of years later, he goes, well, what if I just had all the information about that property owner, and I had the phone number, and I had all these other things that you can get if you skip trace it, and then you could just reach out to them. And then all of a sudden, you're just driving around, you have your phone, you click a button, click another button, and you're talking to a property owner. Technology. You can't beat it. You just can't beat it. Anyway, let's talk to Matt Camp, because he's got some exciting news about Deal Machine. Right, Matt?
Hey, what's up, Brent? How we doing, man?
I'm doing awesome. How are you, brother?
Doing good. You get me fired up every time I'm listening to well, one, you talking about like just the fact that people, I mean, there's so many problems out there. That's the value we're bringing to the market, is identify those people and make it a win-win where they're excited to do the deal on their end too. So love to hear that. You get me fired up every time doing that. Also the the technology quote. I need to get that clip. That was great. You can
use that for all your ads.
Right? There we go. I love it. So
what's new? So you guys created this, David and your team, incredible team, guys, another company that just has an incredible soul. They really want to help us to remove all the excuses. That's, if I were to sum up Deal Machine, it would be this. They remove all the excuses that we have from taking action.
Love it.
All of it. All we literally have to, you don't even have to get in the car anymore. They do a virtual one where you could literally be on your computer and you could Google map through and find the ugliest houses, click buttons, and have all their information and rock and roll. So literally, they remove all of the obstacles. All you got to do is press call and then talk to the property owner. What else you got cooking? What else is new and exciting?
Man. Love it, man. So, yeah, like you said, Brent, I mean, I think on our end, anything we do, our goal is to make it just easier for you guys to do more deals and do bigger deals. And, you know, to give you technology to do that, think about us as, like you said, one, to find those properties. So find, you know, the houses that need help, right? To help you get in front of those people. So help you understand, how do we reach out to them? How do we get in front of them and actually have the conversations that lead to those wins long term, right? And then how do we help you close deals using, technology in creative ways? Some things like comping, AI, a lot of really fun things that are kind of,
I didn't even touch on that.
Yeah, help you get to the next level. Like that'll.
Guys, they have an AI in there that you go, hey, Brent Daniels says that I should offer 70% minus repairs for my wholesale price. What would that be for this property? And it'll go, and then boom, give you an answer. And then you go, okay, what about for a buy and hold investor? Okay, what about for a BRRRR property? Oh, okay, what about for whatever, fix and flip, whatever it is. And it just automatically breaks it down off of the learning that it does, because you guys have, I don't know, a tremendous amount of the industry is using Deal Machine. So it's just constantly learning. I mean, it's incredible. You guys are
getting better. Yeah.
Technology.
Technology. I love that. Yeah, man. So we're always getting better, always evolving on the AI front for sure. It's been fun to see people use that, and it's a great way to kind of help you think through the numbers, help you think through how to get in contact with sellers, all that stuff. The fun thing on our end. So this week we have huge news tonight where I can share. Let me find this link for you guys. It's just dealmachine.com/register. Do you do dealmachine.com/register? So if you guys don't mind throwing that up somewhere,
we're going to put it in right now. Matt's on top of it.
Awesome, man. So that right there tonight at 8:00 Eastern time is going to be David. You talk about our CEO and founder, David Letko. He's on here all the time. He's going to be jumping on tonight and breaking down all of the new stuff we have for you guys. It's a ridiculous amount of data, a ridiculous amount of helping you guys take it to the next level in terms of, how do you break down a property? How do you even interact with our map in a more effective way using data? So, and then on top of all that, we're gonna have a massive announcement with that tonight that, can't tease too much for you, but hey, show up tonight and we're gonna be giving you guys the full breakdown.
Can we get a hint?
On all that.
Can we get a hint? You're not gonna give us a hint?
It'll see. How about this?
We're going 4 hours live here. We need to come on. Give us some sort of hint.
The one hint will be it's going to save you guys a ton of money. How about that?
Ooh.
Which hey, I think people like that. So
I love saving money.
So yeah, man. So that's our goal over here is really using technology again to make you more efficient and effective. That's going to help you again use every marketing dollar to and really minute you have out there of when you're calling people, when you're getting out there, when you're actually taking action on these properties. All of that, we've built technology to make that as efficient and effective as possible for you. We've had over 10,000 deals done using the Deal Machine app to date.
Say that again.
Over 10,000 deals done using the app.
And let's call it average deal size. Let's just call it 15,000. Let's call it 10,000. Let's be under than over. Okay. What's 10,000 times 10,000?
A lot of zeros. Was that 100 million? Am I doing that right? 10,000 times, 100 million. So
100 million.
Yeah.
How good does that feel?
It's awesome.
How good does it feel working with a company that has provided $100 million worth of deals?
That's what we do.
How
man.
long? What was it? 2017, 18, 16?
17 was when it really went live. Yeah. So 6 years. Yeah.
God, I mean, I'm gonna ring it for that, bro. Come on.
There we go. I love that. Yeah, it feels really good, man. I mean, that's why we do it, is for you guys. Like that. That's why. I mean, I come on, part of the Rhino tribe. Like something you guys get, for being a Rhino member is me coming on once a month and really breaking this stuff down, sharing best practices of what's working every single month and what we see working over and over again. And it's because of that. It's because we have so many stories to collect from you guys doing deal after deal and telling us what's working in the market today. So I get the fun part of just kind of getting to know people, getting to hear how it's changed their life, and getting to share it with you guys and help you guys do the same for your own. So
the new tagline: $100 million agrees that Deal Machine is the best. What do you think?
Hey, keep them coming. We'll keep doing those ads out there.
Yeah, pretty good. Wow. No, but for real, just so there's an exciting announcement. Beyond the exciting announcement, why should people show up 8:00 Eastern Standard Time tonight to be with you guys?
Yeah. So one, I mean, one, we're going to have that announcement. With it, I mean, we're doing our own Black Friday offer for you guys too, Cyber Monday. From now until November 29th, you're going to hear what that is. We've got a window for you guys to really jump in there and just take advantage of all this new stuff we're putting out there. And then outside of that too, I mean, we're going to be training you guys. Like, we want you to be set up for success right now, and don't wait till 2024. Like, yes, we want 2024 to be your best year ever, but right now is when people are mailing it in. Like, right now is when people are saying, "Oh, I'll wait till New Year's," or, you know, the market's, you know, obviously slow. Like, "Hey, oh yeah, I'll do it someday." Like, it's so easy to say right now that you'll do this someday, whereas come to this thing and get the technology you need, get the best deal on it. And that's, you know, again, like the short window we're giving to you, and go out there and, you know, do deals before the new year and like get things going and go into the new year where you're ready to make that your best year ever. So
I love it. Thank you, Matt. You're the best. Love the beard. Love what's going on there. Guys, show up. It's in the show notes right here. If you're watching this after, make sure that maybe there's a replay or something like that if you register for this thing. That is a long website link. Holy cow. What are you doing?
Dealmachine.com. Dealmachine.com/register. That'll work too. That'll actually make it a lot easier for you. So
awesome.
Yeah. But.
Well, it is the week of gratitude and thankfulness, and I am thankful for you, Matt, and Dave, and the whole crew at Deal Machine. You guys have helped the Rhino Tribe make a tremendous fortune. Our company make a tremendous fortune. So thank you. We are proud to be a part of that $100 million amount of deals that have happened. So thank you.
Yeah, dude. I mean, same on our end. Gratitude's coming right back at you. Like, we love working with you guys. We know that your students are ready to get out there and take action and have that mentality. And those are the people who can actually help. So thanks for having us involved too, man. It's been awesome. It's been a great relationship.
All right, brother. I'll see you tonight.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
See you, buddy. Awesome. Matt Camp, guys, Deal Machine. I'm telling you, listen, 80% of brand new real estate investors get their first deals, or wholesalers get their first deals from Driving for Dollars. Listen, I have been interviewing people on the Wholesaling Inc. podcast since 2017. 8 out of 10 of them for their first deals is from Driving for Dollars. Don't overcomplicate this. You got a full-time job, you're driving around, you're doing these things. Cody Schaefer out of Kansas City is an Uber driver. And this year he's going to make, I think, over 200,000, 250,000, 300,000. I don't know. I hope maybe he'll pop in here and let us know. But $200,000 this year in Kansas City. That's like $2 million everywhere else. Okay? Absolutely the truth. He literally drives around, Cody, and he finds properties that are rough. He just closed a deal, Hondra, for I think he netted $58,000. $58,000. Wow, absolutely bananas! Congratulations to him. All right, we're going to be moving on, and I'm going to be moving over to this whiteboard, and we're going to be talking about this. Okay. And this was always something that I was uncomfortable with early on because I really didn't know how to transition. All I knew was I was a blunt instrument, and I would just go cash offer, cash as is, cash as is, cash as is. And it was good, and it was focused, and it allowed me to get really good deals. But I left a lot of money on the table. Now, I do not want you to get distracted. I do not want you to all of a sudden it really, starts throwing you off of, I'm going to go after different properties. Make sure when you're starting out that you go after the ugly houses, ugly situations, right? Going back to the different reasons that people sell their property, there has to be some distress that they will trade price for speed and convenience. Okay, so let's look at this. You're having a conversation with a property. I'm going to go to the whiteboard now, Matt. Okay. We're having a conversation with the property owner, and we go cash first, and then we're going to make some adjustments after that. And I'm going to let you know what to do for a owner finance deal, because this is something that can be really powerful for you, and find some really great deals that you can either keep for yourself or to sell them to another investor that is building their portfolio. And let me tell you this. And we'll have this conversation with Jared Vidalis. He's coming up in about an hour. No, about an hour and a half. What time is Jared here? In 45 minutes. He's got an incredible portfolio, but he's very strict on the properties that he buys for a reason. So let's take a look at this. Matt's running back to the office, back to his thing. There we go. Okay, that is a crazy view. Okay, good. Okay, great. Okay, can you see me all right? All right. So number one is cash, right? Cash as is. That's the offer that we're looking for because this is the fastest. This is they want to get in, they want to get out. Okay? But what happens when you're having a conversation or you're calling up properties that are on the MLS? You're just calling up properties that are already listed. You know they want to sell, but they're too high. And they don't want just a cash as is offer. Or you're speaking to somebody that they do want to sell the property, but they just, they're like, listen, I don't want to get hit by the capital gains tax on this thing, which I think is kind of a funny argument because they're going to get taxed anyway. But I guess people like death from 1,000 cuts instead of just one or whatever else. But the first one is cash as is. That's what we're looking to do. Here's your cash as is offer. So cash as is offer, you want to find the ARV. ARV is a fancy real estate acronym for after repaired value. This just basically means a fixed up house. Fixed up. That's all it is. It's just a fixed up house. It's a beautiful fixed up house. If this property was totally perfect, everything was updated, the floors, the cabinets, the fixtures, the roof, the pool pump, the heat pump, the basement's done, everything's done, smells fresh, looks good. It's got the black stainless steel appliances. It's got that cool textured wall. It's looking fantastic. It's a Luke Rottvold with the Viking Boys style house. It is flawless. It's jumping off the shelf when somebody sees it. Everybody that walks into it says, I need this house. I will not be fulfilled unless I live here. That's what ARV is, fixed up, looking good, okay? So you take that value, and then this is important, okay? If you are in a market where the inventory right now is 2 months or more, and I'm going to show you how to find that. It's on Realtor.com. It's very easy to find out. Basically, to find out inventory is you take the active listings, and you divide it by the pending. And you can find that right on Realtor.com. There's a more button. You click down. You say hide the pending listings. Boom. I'll show you in just a second. Don't even worry about it. We got everything you need here. All right. Active pending. Boom. I feel like a furniture salesman. We got everything you need. You want the recliner? Fantastic. The ottoman? All right. Anyway, that's what you do. If this is more than 2 months, then I want you to go 70%. 70% of this ARV. Now, this is going to take into account profit for the investor that you sell to. This is going to take in closing costs. This is title and escrow fee. This is hard money costs. This is, that's basically it. Commissions, you can put commissions in there. And that's really what it is. The profit and the closing cost is right here. And typically they're going to want between 15 to 20% of profit in a slower market just to hedge against any kind of decrease in the values. Okay. Then you're going to subtract the fix-up cost. Okay. Fix-up cost. Now, for most properties, guys, don't overthink this. Okay. If a property is in decent shape and it just needs lipstick, I want you to go $15 to $20 a square foot. If it needs more cosmetic, it needs a whole new bathrooms and kitchens and all those things, and to really bring it up to date. It's a really dated property. It's not destroyed. It's not fire damaged or horror house or have mold or anything like that. You want to be about $30 to $40 a square foot. And then if it's just destroyed, just go $70 a square foot. All right. And so just what's the square footage? This house is completely destroyed. It's 1,000 square feet. It's going to cost $70,000 to fix it up. All right. It just needs some other things and just needs some little costs here and there. You're going to go 70 to 30. And you guys can play with this, right? You could go, 17 and a half or 35 or more than 70 if you're in California or New York or Seattle or Chicago, right? But there you go. $15 to $20 a square foot. So just look at the square foot. You can pull it up right there, square foot. And that'll get you a pretty good range of what to use for this fix-up cost, because we look at this and we go, okay, deal or no deal is one of the toughest parts. We talked about it with Cliff, right? And so that we just got to figure out what the fixed up is. What are the comps showing? What's the highest sale in the neighborhood? Looking great. 70% minus the fix-up cost. And that's what an investor will buy it at. That's the wholesale price. Then we come in and we are whatever you want to make lower than that, 15,000 to whatever, 50,000. Just depends on the deal, right? And that is your MAO. There's something in my brain that always thinks of the Chinese dictator for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's like on. I think Mike Tyson has a tattoo of him on his shoulder or something. I don't know. Whatever. But max allowable offer. It's not the dictator in China, obviously. It's just max allowable offer. This is the offer that we can offer the property owner for that property. Okay? That's your cash. Okay? Next, let's look at, well, I don't want a cash offer. 100 if you don't mind. Yeah, okay. I don't want a cash offer. I want to owner finance this. Right? Or maybe they want too much. Maybe you go and that offer that you give them there is $140,000. I could give you $140,000 cash as is. You don't have to put another dime into the property. That's it. No, I want $223,000. Listen, every time you have a conversation, there's a deal in there. I'm telling you, every time there's some opportunity there, right? Now, not every one of them is going to be a deal. Not everybody is going to do business with you. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you shouldn't just stop there, right? If they are dead set, listen, I need 223. That's all I want. That's all I need. That's it. Then I want you to use this exact verbiage. I can get you your price, but it'll have to be in payments. Are you open to payments? Because you can. Listen, I am telling you right now, I would, any property, give me a terrible property. Give me a terrible property. And they say, you can buy this for $1 million. Great, done. But it'll have to be in payments. Or what's the payments? I will pay you 25 cents a month until it's paid off. That's terms, right? You can, this is just, you make it up. It's incredible, right? So you're looking at this thing and they want too high of a price. So you say, okay, I can do that, but it'll have to be in terms. Okay, and these are the terms that I want you to remember. I want you to remember, let's go terms. And I want you to remember 5, 10, 50. Okay? Let me explain. This is when it gets exciting. Strap in. I don't want you to put more than 5% for the down payment. Oftentimes, you can get this with 0, but 5 stands for 5%. You want to be around 5% or lower of the down payment. Okay? That's a smoking deal. A lot of investors can get into that deal. Now, if it's 7%, if it's 10%, whatever, it's case by case, but this is where I want you to be. We either get wholesale price or we get wholesale terms, baby. Right? Yeah. 10 years to balloon. I never understood. Oh, I hope that's right. I don't know. I hope that's how you spell balloon. Listen, I never understood what a balloon was. I don't even understand it now. I don't know why it's called a balloon. It sounds very weird. But basically, when do they want all of their money? Okay? You know you could pay $140 for this thing, and it's worth $140, but they want $223,000. So you go, okay, well, if that's the case, I can give you $223,000, but I can't pay it all the way off for at least 10 years. This is a minimum. The higher you can go with this, the better the deal, the quicker that you can sell this deal. Okay? 5, 10, 10-year balloon. That means in 10 years, you have to refinance it. You have to sell it or you got to renegotiate. Okay? Now what you'll find is, watch this. This almost happens. This happens 80% of the times with deals that I've done. And I would say probably if you were to like go and survey everybody that does creative deals, it'd be pretty close. At about year 3, they start going, hey, listen, I'll take much lower if you can just cash me out now. Interesting, right? Or 5 years or 7 years. Something happens and they're like, I'm tired of holding on to this 10-year note. I would just want to be done with it. I'm willing to take this. Happened to me when I bought a business, by the way. Yeah. It was this price and it was this price when it was all done. All right. 50% of the rent. That's what you want your payment to be. Your payment on this thing needs to be about 50% of what you can rent it for. So you go onto Zillow, you go onto Redfin, you go onto Rentometer, you go on whatever. It says it can rent for $1,500. You want to be at a payment of $750 or lower on this property. Why? That seems like a tremendous amount of cash flow. What investor would ever go with this deal? Wholesale price or wholesale deals. It happens or wholesale terms. Happens every single day, guys. Every single day. So the reason you need to build a buffer in here, and Jared's going to talk to us about this, is because it costs money to keep up a house. All right? Listen to this. And Google it. Average cost for upkeep on a single family house is anywhere from like $2,500 to $5,000 a year. A year. That's just keeping it up. That's just making sure that you're just doing little maintenance things here and there throughout the house. $2,500 to $5,000. Okay? Number 2 is every time you turn that property over, every time a tenant leaves that property, the average cost is $3,000. Might be $3,500 with inflation. So it might be $3,500, right? Vacancy rate, 6%. Property management fee, 10%. Well, I'm not going to have a property manager, and I'll just tell the tenant that they can just take care of the property themselves, and then I don't have any upkeep costs. Great. 1, you're not going to be able to increase your rent. 2, that property is going to be destroyed, and you're going to be a tired landlord. So listen, 50% of the rent is your payment. You can now go do all. Now listen, this is obviously if they own the property free and clear. Now, if they have some debt on it, there's some interesting things that we can do there, but this is just straight up. It's an older property. They own it free and clear. They want a certain price. They're not willing to take cash offer. They want payments over time. We run into these situations a lot, actually. This is not uncommon. But 5, 10, 50%. Got it? Boom. Next option. And by the way, in about 17 minutes, we have the incredible Tom Kroll, my mentor, the original owner of Wholesaling Inc., and all around just badass. He's absolutely incredible. Now, they don't want a cash offer. They don't want creative offer, but they do want to sell the property. This is when you do a referral. This is when you refer it to an agent. And our referral, because I have a license, our referral is between 30 to 35% of whatever is earned on that for referral fee. Now, Brent, I don't have a license. I don't want to get a license. I don't want to do that. Great. Have somebody on your team have a license. How about that? Or how about you just forego this and you say to your agent that you keep giving all of these deals to, hey, listen, why don't you prepay Deal Machine for me for the year? It's going to be X amount. How about you prepay all of the skip tracing? How about you pay for my dialer? How about you pay for 3 months of my text messages? How about you pay for my direct mail? Right? Marketing costs. Why don't you have an arrangement like that? For they don't want your cash offer. They don't want your wholesale offer, wholesale terms. They just want to list it on the market. Great. Get a great agent to be able to do that. All right? That's what you do. That's how you go and you work this thing. And here's an important question that you have to ask. All right? Here's an important question. If you can't get the price you want, what's your plan with the property? Write this down. You're going to use it all the time. Because you're going to really, this is going to help you understand if this person is somebody that you should be following up with or not. And by the way, if you're going after on-market deals, real estate agent deals, or the ones that are just on the market, this should be like all day long. You're making these type of offers, not this one, all of them. The cash, the wholesale terms, and, well, not the referral. But those two that you're doing that all the time. And if they don't, what is their plan with the product? Oh, they'll just keep it. They'll just keep it. They'll just fix it up. They'll do this. They'll do that. Then at least you understand, wait, there's no distress here. The property might be in distress, but the owner is not in distress. So why am I wasting my time? I'm going to just throw that into the fourth one. First, we have cash. Second, we have creative. Third, we have referral. And fourth, we have a trash can. Throw it away. Move on. This is how you have these unstoppable offers. This is how you feel confident. Was that crazy? 5, 10, 50? That's not crazy. It's not crazy to remember. It's not crazy to put into your toolbox. Referring to a really great agent, that's not crazy. Understanding what to offer on a property that needs significant renovation, that's not crazy. You got this. It's just conversations and offers. I have it on my office in bright, beautiful, I'm switching over here, Matt. Bright, beautiful, wholesaling ink orange, glowing up, conversations and offers. That's what this that's what this business is all about. It's just making conversations and offers. Having conversations, making offers. You need help with that, guys. Again, we have some incredible Black Friday sales this week only. The $7 course is a no-brainer. That's just silliness. That's just, the amount that you get there is bananas. That'll teach you everything that you need to know. But the getting the course bundle, fantastic. For under $100, that's just silly. I don't know what. I'm not in charge of this. That's all I'm saying. I'm just kidding. Of course I am. But $97 and then $1,000 off of the mentorship. It's absolutely bananas. If you have been on the fence of what tribe you want to join, what mentorship, what community, direct access to me. You get my phone number. 40 hours of support calls every single week. You get to see everything that happens in my business. There's no hiding. There's no mystery to it. And you're absolutely surrounded with the best of the best of the best. Nobody has more success than the Rhino Tribe. Nobody. It's not even close. Not even. You know what people do? They come into the first support calls and they go, oh, man. Oh, my gosh. I have never been in a support call where people were closing so many deals. And I'm not being sensational here. Every single time. So if you're interested in that and something about this is making sense and you want to simplify this and build an actual business, I encourage you to go to rhinoblackfriday.com and check out the mentorship. Apply now. And if it's a good fit for both of us, I'll be talking to you probably sometime this week. So there you go. But keep this simple, guys. Keep this absolutely simple, right? If they want, first, here's the thing. Remember this. We are deal finders, not deal creators. Doesn't mean we can't be creative, but we're deal finders, not deal creators. We cannot instill into somebody's heart the desire to sell their house. We can't just plant a chip in their brain and say, now you're motivated to sell your property. It's not going to happen. They have to have already made the decision that they're going to sign the documents required to transfer title to somebody else. That's what a lead is. That's what a lead is. So just focus on the people that actually want to sell their properties and then use one of 4 of those. Use one of 4 of those. Guys, Tom Kroll's coming up and he's going to blow your face off. He's literally on a cruise ship. He's literally on a cruise ship. I was like, Tom, can you jump on Monday with me? And he's like, absolutely, anything for you. And then I send him a little reminder this morning and he's like, oh my gosh, I thought it was on Friday, not Monday. And so he's on a cruise ship with his family. He's doing that for Thanksgiving. Isn't that cool? Yeah, that's pretty cool. He lives in Florida, so I assume A cruise ship is just like taking a trip to like Vegas for us or California. You just get on a cruise ship and go around the Caribbean or whatever, or Caribbean, depending on how you pronounce it. So the incredible Tom Krol will be coming up here shortly. But guys, put in some questions. I left a big segment of our 4-hour show here for questions. Make sure that you're putting questions in the comments section. And if you're brave, we'll bring him right up on stage, just like Ike. That was wonderful meeting Ike and Libby and hearing their story and what they're doing. So I'd love to do that some more, but it's up to you. I can't, again, right? You can't convince anybody to do anything, but I can only invite you in. So make sure that if you have any questions, that you don't leave this session, this 4-hour show, without getting them answered. And by the way, if you're enjoying the show, make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and hit a like. Do that like thing. I think that helps the algorithms or the computers or something, right? It does something. I don't know if it does with live shows, maybe afterwards. If you're watching this after, that would mean a lot. If you want to put comments in the comments section after the show is no longer live, I respond to those questions with video. So I invite you to do that as well. If you're this far into watching this, when did we start? We started an hour and a half ago. So we're coming up on the halfway point here. So make sure that you're putting your comments in there and make sure that you are liking and subscribing. Also, you can check out the incredible podcasts at wholesalinginc.com and Wholesale Hotline. That Wholesale Hotline is a collaboration of Pace Morby, Mr. Sub 2, Jamil Damji, Mr. Astro Flipping and Keegley, and Jerry Norton, the Flipping Genius. We're all smushed together into an incredible podcast on Wholesale Hotline. So definitely check that out as well. And definitely check out Friday? What is it? Rhino Black Friday. Rhino Black Friday. There you go. Awesome. There it is. It's only been scrolling on the screen in front of me for 100 minutes. There you go. Awesome. So, guys, that's it. You know, that building in your unstoppable offer, it just takes going out and finding ways for people for you to communicate. And really, as we're looking at this thing, let's remember this. Let's remember that there's only 3 ways to find deals. All right? 3 ways to do lead generation. There's marketing. There is referrals, and there is prospecting, which I like to call buy, wait, and earn. Okay? Boom. That's the only ways to generate leads. And I love these. I love marketing and I love referrals. The fact is, when you're getting started in this business, nobody knows who you are. So I will tell you this, if you want to get a bunch of referrals, this word right here is critical. You got to get loud. You got to document. Oh, it's getting covered. Matt, can you make this full screen or something? You got to get loud. You got to get loud with what you're doing. You got to document what you're doing. You got to tell everybody I buy houses. You got to tell everybody about your real estate journey. You got to get really, really, really loud so that you build up a network of people that know, like, and trust you, and you can get referrals. All right? Marketing is fantastic. Marketing is people are already motivated. They want to sell their property. Oh my gosh, they want to sell their property. They're so pumped for it. But it is expensive. You need to have a budget. You need to be able to spend money having people call you when they want an offer on their property. It works. It's phenomenal. But it is a cost. And it's a cost that you spend before you get a response, before you get a return. So, and listen, if you are doing marketing, you need to make sure that you answer any calls live and you respond. If it's an internet lead, you got to respond in 1 minute, 5 minutes max. After that, it's nonsense. You're chasing a ghost at that point, right? It's just really, really, really difficult to get those leads. So make sure that you get them live. Get them on. When people call you up, answer it live or have somebody answer it live. And when those internet leads come in, you got 1 minute, 5 minute max. It's like a little hourglass going through. And when all that sand's out of that hourglass, donezo, right? So make sure that you do that. Now, with referrals are fantastic. Referrals, you saw right here, if you look here on my year budget here, referrals cost $0. And we made $108,000 so far this year. $0 on referrals, $108,000. That's pure profit. And it is fantastic. And I'm telling you, you find 30 people that send you one deal a year, and you're set, right? If the average deal is $15,000, and you have 30 people sending you one deal a year, it's $450,000. You're literally in the 1% income earner. What are we doing with this trash? 1% income earners in the world. I don't know if that's still true. Can you pull that up? What's 1% income earners now? It used to be like 400. Maybe it's still in that range. I don't know, but I feel like inflation has messed with that. Anyway, that's how you build a really profitable business. And we all should be building in referrals all the time. Networking with other wholesalers, networking with other just friends, family, people that are in the business, realtors. You get 30 realtors that they love getting dolled up, and they love wearing their suits and their ties, and they love going to the dry cleaners, and they love driving their like little mini Range Rover things or whatever else. And they're it's like glamour shots all the time. They're always on Instagram modeling for some reason, but they're realtors. I don't know. And I'm not just talking about the gals. I'm talking about the guys too. They're just handsome. They smell good. They don't want to go into these properties that are beat up. They don't know what to do with those properties, so they send them to us. And we do those deals. And so get 30 of those realtors that want to do luxury properties, or they want to be in good areas and get the big commissions. Let them do that, and we focus on the rough stuff. That's phenomenal. Just build that in. And by the way, moving forward, realtors are going to need us. Realtors are going to really need us in their back pocket for other options. I'm telling you, cash offers to property owners are going to be absolutely critical moving forward. And them having us in their back pocket to be able to make a cash offer on those properties is going to separate the agents that make this huge tsunami, this huge tornado, tsunami, volcano, lava, sharknado event that is happening with realtors right now. They don't evolve. They're done. And for you agents out there listening, come to the dark side. Come here. We'll show you how to do this. We'll make sure that you stay in this game. We'll make sure that you have your tools well oiled and shiny. All right? Because you're going to have to give other options to property owners, or it's going to be done. And that is what it is. So agents, sending you referrals is going to be absolutely critical, and it's going to be a huge opportunity for agents to earn on deals that they probably wouldn't have closed. Probably wouldn't. Is Tom ready?
Yes, he is. You haven't been able to see him for 15 minutes, but he is looking so pumped.
Oh, Tom's looking pumped? All right, guys. Listen, speaking of the most incredible guy and my mentor and huge heart, talking to us about how to not only have a successful year, but a happy year, a fulfilled year. One of my best friends, one of my mentors, one of the greatest people I know, Tom Kroll. Welcome on, Tom.
Bam! How are you, brother?
I am excited. Thank you so much. I know that you're on a cruise ship right now, but you're spending 15 minutes with the incredible audience, pouring into them and really giving a great perspective of what it means to be an entrepreneur that has some harmony.
Bam! Oh, harmony, not balance. I love it, Brent. Thank you for having me. I love you, brother. You're looking good. Look at that gun show. Woo! That's nice.
That's it. Yeah.
What a great adventure. I was listening in. I love everything you have to say. The referrals, marketing 101. I love it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
So Tom, how do we have the harmony? How do we build harmony into our world where we're in hustle season, we're working really hard, we've got that hunger and we're obsessed and we want to change everything, and it's not a want, it's a must have, and everything is, we're almost like swallowed up with this business.
Bam. Yeah, easy. So here's the deal, right? This is simple stuff. Hustle is a season. It's not a lifestyle. So you got to go all in. You got to go all in, and you can't have any pity parties, right? So if you start to feel sorry for yourself and you're having doubt and disappointment and you're discouraged and you've got all this distraction and you don't know what to do with all these D's, set an egg timer. You get 3 minutes, you have a pity party, and you get back to work. The thing to keep in mind right now is that you have to outwork, and you have to you have to deep dive all the way in, right? You got to get. I think a lot of people, what happens is when they get this discouragement, they start to feel sorry for themselves, right? You've got to go all in. You've got to work until disappointment quits and until distraction quits, and you got to just work, and you got to work, and you got to work. And the more you put in up front, you've got to earn that freedom. That's financial freedom is earned. So no feeling sorry for yourself. The more work you put in the beginning, it's a very simple business. I mean, wholesaling, I love what you said. We're deal finders, not deal creators, right? So I'm very familiar with that term. Yeah. I love it, right? That really encapsulates this whole entire business is you just laser focus and you don't have time for anything else. It's entirely appropriate to prioritize these activities all day, every day. That's how you are a good steward of your talents. That's how you're a good steward of your family, by prioritizing your talents to love God's other children in your good work. That's how you put your family first. So in that hustle season, you just work and give and work and give and work and give, and you just keep doing that. And as soon as you right at the end of the rope, you get a cup of coffee and you do it again and again and again and again and again. That's the key. It's easy.
So how do you build a business out of that? At what point do you transition from that hard work into building an actual system?
Well, you've got to use the most important muscle you have, right? So these are important, but this is important right here. So let me give you the secret, right? You have got to read every day, and everyone is now gonna half the audience is gonna tune out. Read, what is this, right? Guys, I am telling you, if you want financial freedom and you want to control, we know now from scientists, from doctors, we know, right, that the people, when you're at the end of your life and you're happy and you have a happy people around you and you've got friends and family and loved ones, those people have followed a very particular set of guidelines in life. Impulse control, portion control, right? We know these things. Reading will build every single one of those muscles that are going to make you a better sibling. So you've got to commit to 8 pages per day, and that's the most important thing. Is you want to make sure that you lock in and you commit right now to reading at least a minimum of 8 pages per day of business books. And here's the key: it's got to be the right books, because remember, the second rule in business is everyone is full of poop. So most books written are completely full of poop, and they're the wrong books. So only read the books from the people who are already ahead of you and already where you want to be. And you got to lock in. You got to read if you need the best sales books ever written, Oren Klaff, right? Flip the script. If you're just starting out, Dream First, Details Later by Elaine Bennett, The Dip by Seth Godin, Rhinoceros Success, of course, by Scott Alexander, our friend. Everything, all these men and women who have come before us, they've given us all of the secrets that we need. They're all written down in these books, and we get to sit with them, and we sit with Viktor Frankl and pick his brain about In Search of Meaning, and Daniel Lapin in Business Bible. So we get all this information. It's such a huge difference. So you've got to read that's the beginning of building a business, is reading. Reading is the number one thing. All of my clients, all of my students, anybody who if you said who are the men and women at the top, all of them are readers. All of them are givers. They all measure their net worth. You got to measure your net worth because a lot of times, how do you get out of the hamster wheel, right? Everyone's running around. No one's measuring their net worth. You got to measure your net worth. Everyone's making decisions on cash flow. It's cash flow and net worth, right? That's the power punch. So it's little tiny simple principles like that.
Track your net worth, Tom.
So I personally track mine every Thursday at 10 o'clock. I get a report from Tony Counts, right? Pace Morby, right? He met Tony. He hired her right away. I love her. She's phenomenal. We get a report. My net worth, my personal cash flow is in my P&L from all of the companies. Wherever I have a board seat, anywhere that I sit, my P&L, I have one report, just like I have one calendar, right? I don't have 5 different reports, and there's not one. You will not see one Excel spreadsheet in any of my reports. Everything is written so that my 14-year-old daughter could read it. What money came in, what money went out, where did the money come from, where is it now, where did it go, where is it going? You'd be
We might have lost him. We might have lost him on his cruise ship, but it's absolutely the truth. I think a lot of times we don't track our net worth because we don't have a net worth. You know what I mean? If Tom can hop back on, we'll get him back on. But absolutely, there you go. Hey, Tom, sorry. Can I pause there for a second? So how do we 100% net worth, tracking it? I was just saying, we usually don't track our net worth because we don't have a net worth, or because, our financial thermostat is set low. So whenever we get money in, we spend that money because we don't feel like we deserve it. And we always wanted those Jordans we couldn't get as a kid, or I always wanted that car that I wanted, when growing up, and I went out and got it, and I got this, all these other whatever, what Robert Kiyosaki would call a doodad, instead of tracking our net worth. And that's really when the maturity comes in. That's really when you start really having the financial intelligence, is when you track your net worth. It's your report card.
Yeah, net worth is so key, and you get one report. You don't need multiple reports. You get one report, and what you really understand about money as you become more sophisticated and you get to do other amazing things in business, what you really find out about money is it's not your money. It's not your money. The true, if you really want to have financial freedom, you have to understand it's not your money. You are only the temporary steward of money, and the better manager of money you become, the more you will be put in charge of. This is 100% true from 6,000 years of recorded history. Is the people who read, the people who are good stewards of their money, and if you're struggling with, no net worth or below zero net worth, start tracking it now. I promise you, everything that you measure and pay attention to in your life will get better. There's no such thing as time management. There is only priority management. So if you care about your net worth and you say you want to have financial freedom, start measuring it right now. Start reading books right now that Brent recommends to you. That's the secret is, there is no secret. You have to stop gathering information right now, and you've got to get on the phone. This business is going to come down to how many conversations. If you take all the rhinos and you say who's having the most success and who's struggling, the people.
Tell you what, there's something going on with the cruise ship. Yeah, that's fine. I love you, Tom. Thank you for being on here. Absolutely incredible. He was about to just drop a lot of knowledge on us, but unfortunately, the cell phone carriers or the Wi-Fi on a cruise ship didn't allow it, and that's fine. We could just all hang in the balance until the next time he's on the Brent Daniels Real Estate Show. Ooh, guys, exciting. I mean, listen, that's it. If you want to look at what is your report card, what are we tracking from a financial literacy thing, it's net worth. You want to teach your kids about assets and liabilities, and you want to teach them about expenses and income. You want to teach them about cash flow. Net worth has to be in there. Net worth has to be. It could be just those 6, and you would teach your kids pretty much all they need to know about being financial illiterate. Assets, liabilities, income, expenses, cash flow, net worth. Boom. All 6, baby. Write them down. Start talking to your 4-year-old about them, or your 7-year-old, or your 17-year-old, or your 14-year-old, or yourself, whatever it is. But start tracking it. It's I will say, and our next guest can let us know if he tracks his net worth, but I certainly do. And everybody that I know that is really on a high level and really pushing for some really exciting goals tracks their net worth. At some point, they get a financial planner. They get somebody. I don't track it. I mean, I have somebody do it just like Tom. Tom has Tony Counts, which is absolutely incredible. So with that, with talking financial literacy, I have one of the best financial minds that I know. I met Jared because he responded to a Craigslist ad or something that I put out for real estate investors, aspiring real estate investors. Little did he know it was kind of a bait and switch. I was just trying to get cold callers. He wasn't interested in that. He was more interested in buying real estate and wholesaling real estate and flipping real estate. He's done it all. Now he's developing projects. He has an incredible portfolio. And he's going to put us on the right track. Everybody out there that goes, I want to build a rental portfolio, you need to listen to this segment because it is the absolute truth. We're going to really break this down. So it's not, listen, you could go out there and you can find a deal to put into your portfolio. The question is, should you? And we're going to give you that answer. Jared Vidalis, come on up, buddy. In studio, guys. In studio, no less.
What's up, brother?
How are you?
Dude, good
Welcome.
to see you.
Yeah, we're going crazy today. We're going 4 straight hours. So, Jared, tell everybody about your portfolio, your background, your what you got going on.
Well, before I kick that off, I actually, talking about kids, I just found out I'm
congratulations!
a baby boy.
Oh, my gosh.
Having a baby
Oh,
boy.
my
So I'm going
gosh.
to take over the empire. I'm
There we go.
super excited.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, we had the full gender reveal at our house yesterday, and
Awesome.
everybody thought it was a girl, and we lit off some smoke bombs, and it was blue smoke.
Blue smoke, baby.
Blue smoke.
Blue smoke.
So yeah, I guess to your point. So we've been really focused on scaling a rental portfolio since 2018. So
Yep.
not a whole lot.
Right, 5 years.
5 years. I guess
Yeah.
it's 5 years now. Shoot. But before that, it was all about how do you create as much cash as humanly possible.
Right.
That was a focus between 2015 and obviously it still is today. But 5 years ago, we made a point to, because it's a grind, right?
Yep.
Wholesaling, flipping, it's a grind. You need to start accumulating assets and start setting up the long-term future. So
The net worth side, not just the cash flow.
the net worth side. So what are we worth roughly?
No. I'm just saying you have to start building up the net worth side, not just the cash.
Absolutely.
Once you're starting out, you're just trying to pay your bills. You're just trying to be in this business full time. You're just trying to go through this right here. We're talking about firing your boss for the first time. What you were in corporate?
I was in corporate. Yeah.
And then you got into your own business?
Got into our own business.
And how did you afford that?
I was an early adopter of Bitcoin back in the day.
Awesome.
And so I was selling a bunch of Bitcoins, and really how I truly got into real estate was, how do I take all this income from Bitcoins and put it into long-term assets?
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we started off, fixing and flipping, but like you mentioned, it ultimately is a net worth equation.
Yeah. So, you wholesaled a lot.
Wholesaled a lot.
How many deals do you think you wholesaled in your heyday?
Probably over 1,000.
Are you still wholesaling?
Still wholesaling.
Right. Why still wholesale?
I mean, cash will kill all businesses, right? It all comes down to cash and liquidity. You
Yep.
could be worth $100 million, and the moment the cash spigot turns off is the moment you're fire selling your assets.
Mhm.
So you always have to have that active income coming in, no matter what. Passive aside, right? You have to have that active income, and the point is, take some of that active income and then put it into the long-term assets, and then start scaling your net worth that way. Folks who think they're just going to get it into real estate to buy rental properties is the biggest mistake anybody could ever make. So
Let's talk about it.
let's do it.
Yeah, break it down. Why?
Because okay, let's say you have $50,000,
Yeah.
$60,000. That's all you have, and you you hear all these guys say, you got to buy real estate.
Mhm.
You take that 50, 60 grand, you put it into a property. What are you going to make? 100, 200 bucks a month.
Right.
Now you're cash strapped and all your cash is gone.
Mhm.
And now you're not lethal to go invest into some sort of cash generating business to continue making that cash and continue moving that cash into assets.
Right. That's what I say all the time. That's what I call the bigger pockets model.
Bigger
Just take your savings and put it into a rental property and just do that every 5 years or whatever.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's slow as hell.
It's really slow. And I think that there's a lot more opportunity to have a cash machine, which is our wholesaling business.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You could literally find a property that needs renovation, talk to the property owner, make an offer, put it under contract, sell that contract.
Absolutely.
Now you got 15,000.
Now you got 50,000.
20,000. 40, whatever. You're starting to build it up. You're starting to get to the point where you can do this business full time.
Mhm.
I think once you can do this business full time, you can really start ramping up what opportunities come across your table, because you're not just doing some other job or working for something else and doing this kind of on the side. You're doing it full time.
Absolutely.
And it goes so much faster that way.
So much faster. And it always starts with a deal.
Yeah.
If you could master getting deep discounted properties, getting really good at that, you have so many exit strategies. You could wholesale it for 20, 30 grand, whatever. You could buy it, put it into portfolio. But if you're just working, if you're kind of doing this on the side, you're really limited to either buying on the market or from wholesalers at not great deals. And the process is significantly slower.
Yeah. Let's go on the whiteboard.
Cool.
I want to go on the whiteboard because there's a marker there. That's your marker. I want you to talk about what criteria makes a good asset that you would put into your portfolio.
Cool.
Right?
So
listen, you're saying you're finding discounted properties, you're finding great deals, but you're not keeping all of them.
Not keeping
Why
all of them.
not?
Because,
Besides the cash flow, let's say you have all the cash flow going, are there properties that you should stay away from?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. So the no-goes.
No-goes.
And this is just me. Everybody has their own strategy, right?
I'm listening to your strategy.
My strategy is my no-goes is anything that was built that's older than 1980.
Love it.
And the reason being is the older you get, the more unexpected expenses you'll incur. Because if you think about it, right? If you're only making $100 to $200 a month at best right now with interest rates, one AC, one roof, one plumbing issue.
We just talked about it.
Literally blows your cash flow
Average
for 2 or 3
cost
years.
$3,000 to $3,500 and up, or $2,500 to $5,000 in just general maintenance.
Absolutely.
And that $5,000 is the older properties, right?
Exactly. There's a reason why Wall Street only buys newer properties.
Okay.
They modeled this up and down, left and right. They said newer homes, less unexpected cost. It's easier
Smart.
to model out, right?
Yeah.
Ideally, we like to stay 1990 and newer.
Okay.
Clay tile roofs, those things last a long time. Newer ACs, the infrastructure, all the plumbing is typically good.
Yep.
The max you're doing when you buy it is making it really nice, just lipstick.
Yep.
I stay away from, so before I buy anything, and not a lot of people do this, there's something called a census tract that every property in the United States falls within.
Okay.
And then you could go on the census, whatever, plug in an address, look at the average income for that tract. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Aha.
Because if you think you're going to go rent to property for $2,500 a month,
right,
and you need to make 3 times, or the tenant needs to bring in 3 times rent, you're not going to go and buy that property if it's sitting in a median average income of $45,000, right? So we like to be, Arizona's tough, but we like to see at least $75,000 plus
in the neighborhood.
Love it. Through the census tracts.
Love it.
And that gives you hey, look, if this property, you might get lucky with one tenant, and then in a year when they go away, you want to know that there's going to be somebody that could easily fit in that's going to qualify. Because our model is buy good homes in good areas, do nice renovations where you're really picking the most qualified tenant. And that's going to eliminate a lot of headache.
Sure.
The ability to pick the right tenant.
Yep.
So this is income.
How does do you find this? So I always was told the top school districts.
Correct.
It's kind of same vibe.
Same vibe.
Yeah.
The only downside in Arizona is all the schools are horrendous.
Right.
So it doesn't really, it's not really applicable. But if you're in East Coast,
Yeah.
Midwest, South, you are going to want, I mean, I'll tell you what the institutions do.
Mhm.
They look for schools, and there's a website called greatschools.org. Same concept. You could plug your address in, and it'll give you all the assigned schools for
Yep.
that address.
Yep.
And
Greatschools.org. All right.
extremely important.
Okay.
And the institutions, they want to see at least an average of those 3 schools: elementary, high school. I don't know. There's one other in there.
Junior high.
Junior high. They want to see at least a 5+ average.
Okay.
Because the idea is,
Yep.
if you have kids, they're in a great school zone. People don't want to take their kids out
People
of
stay longer.
They stay way longer.
Yeah.
And that's going to eliminate
Yep.
all your turnover costs, all your expenses,
Okay.
and it's just going to make performance a lot better.
Yeah. Awesome.
So age, income, schools. I mean, that's really it, right?
Yeah. And then so if it doesn't fit this box, you're not buying it.
Not buying it.
What if it's a sub 2?
If it's a subject to, I will still do it, but instead of renting it,
Yeah.
I will convert it to a wrap,
Okay.
and I'll sell the property and arbitrage the interest rates.
Okay. Got it.
So sub 2, it's a little bit different.
Right.
You're more or less buying the rate than buying the house and the
Yeah,
location.
but don't you think it would be a headache?
to rent those out?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, to do the wraps and the wraps still go through and everybody, you know what I mean? Like, would you ever buy a sub 2 in the middle of Arizona City or, Tolleson or like something like out there, Whitman?
I've done a lot. I've done them everywhere.
And how'd it go?
It went good.
Okay.
Because like it's kind of counterintuitive, because in those areas, in those random bodog towns,
Yeah.
there's a lot more people that don't qualify for a traditional mortgage.
Right.
And they're more, they fit into your wrap product, if
Okay.
you will.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother, that's like my freaking secret weapon right now.
Right.
And I mean, we could do a whole nother thing on that.
Yeah.
That will talk about $100-$200 a month on the rentals.
Yeah.
You're cranking $800 to $1,500 a month in cash flow. It's just selling that property on a wrap.
Right.
And it's
So
freaking
let me see if I understand. So let's just say you have a property and you take over the loan at a sub 2 at 200,000,
Mhm.
right? And it's like a 3% interest rate.
correct.
You'll wrap it at what price?
So I'll sell it on average. You could get about 5% over what that house is worth.
Percent over.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we're the bank. We're not going through
Right.
an appraisal. We could ask $1 million if we wanted
Sure.
to, but there's a limit.
So
Call it
210.
yeah, sure. Call it 210.
Okay. So you're at 210 on this wrap. Okay. And now you've got this loan,
Mhm.
and then you're wrapping the rest of it, and they're putting a down payment.
Correct.
How much of a down payment?
So on your deal, let's say you're putting down 25,000
Yeah.
on your deal,
Okay.
and then you find a new buyer to come and put $30,000 down.
Right.
Now with closing costs, blah blah blah, your cash is fully taken out of the deal.
Yeah.
So now you're sitting in the deal with house money, you got no money in this deal. But then you sell it
Mm-hmm.
at instead of you're working with a 3, let's say you do a 7.5,
Mhm.
7.5 interest rate.
Okay.
And now
So
you're
this payment is, let's call it 1,200,
1,200
and
now
this payment is
1,900, let's say.
1,900. Okay. And you're fine with this because they're a buyer, not a tenant.
They're a buyer, not a tenant.
Right.
And I never want to own an asset and say Arizona City, right?
Do they have a balloon?
No balloon.
30-year?
30-year. It's a 30-year fixed rate, no balloon, no prepay, because per Dodd-Frank, I can't put a balloon on them.
Who's Dodd-Frank?
Dodd-Frank is it's a governing agency that essentially made sure lenders weren't as predatory as they
Okay.
were back during the great financial crisis.
Yeah, sure.
So shit show back then, right?
Yeah.
So now we have Dodd-Frank everybody has to comply with.
Okay, got it.
And really what the only thing we need to be aware of is when we're selling this deal
Mm-hmm.
to a new buyer,
Mm-hmm.
we need to put them through full underwriting.
Yes.
We
What
need
does that mean?
we need to put them
Credit?
we check credit and we check income.
Income.
Key is kind of counterintuitive as well. We do not care about credit.
Okay.
We only care about income
Okay.
and that's the ability to
Job
repay.
history
Or
or just income?
just income.
You don't even care how long you've been there?
Don't even care. We don't care if they have an I-10 or a social security number.
Yep.
All we need to do is make sure we're complying with Dodd-Frank's
Yep.
ability to repay act.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
And that all goes through underwriting, and they make sure, hey, look, this guy makes 10 grand a month per the DTI requirements put in place federally, whatever. We could sell them the house legally.
Yeah. Awesome.
And now it does kind of two things. You crank the cash flow. Now, instead of making $200 a month, you're making $700 a month
With no money into it.
with no money into it.
Yeah.
And then you don't own that asset. So all those unexpected repair costs, property management, all the bullshit, that is completely out of the equation because now they own the house and you no longer own the house.
Right. But there's got to be headaches if they don't make this payment.
There would 1,000%.
And I mean, this is fine. This is you. But this is, if it's a sub 2, you've got somebody else on here.
You got somebody else.
Right. So as a smart investor, do you keep like a certain pool of money over here just in case this isn't made and you can?
What you should
You
do
know what I
is
mean?
you should keep 7 months of your payment
Love it.
in reserves.
Guys, did you hear that? 7 months. 7 months of your payment. This isn't you going out. Should people be living off of this cash flow?
I wouldn't.
Why?
If you're not, you got to be able to. I honestly think you need to have.
But that's the whole point, Jared.
It is.
Cash flow covers expenses, and now we're done.
You could 1,000% easily hit financial freedom with 5 of these.
Right.
I ran the math. Somebody who's an average guy out there who has 5 or 10 Fannie Freddie Mac loans to their name, they could easily use all of those, do this, and make 8 grand, 10 grand a month net.
Right.
The issue is you need to make sure you have the liquidity to support 7 months because if these people don't pay, you have 6 months before you could foreclose on them and take the house back.
Right. So really, the only play here is you are a note holder.
You're a note holder, correct?
You're not getting appreciation.
Nothing.
You're getting some cash flow, but most of it's to kind of save here. But you don't have repairs.
You don't have
repairs. Turnover costs, maybe, if they decide they don't want to pay it anymore. So really, the only risk that you run is they stop
paying.
Yeah.
That is the biggest risk.
Yeah.
So that's that way. And plus, if you're.
But it doesn't this, like, just mentally, just as a person, doesn't it like, oh, shit, I hope that they make their payments.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So you're always thinking about that.
You're always
So why
thinking
even
about
do these deals?
You're freaking juicing the cash flow.
Right.
You're juicing the cash flow.
Okay.
I would never do a deal where you're at 200 and the market value is 210.
Right.
I would need to be at like
160.
160,
Yeah,
right? Because that gives you,
right.
If you do take the house back, and let's say Armageddon happens, market crashes, you need to make sure you can get out of this.
Sure. And really, that's what I want to speak to about this is the mentality. The technique is great, but the mentality of owning a lot of rentals. How does it not drive you crazy? How does it not? How do you turn it off? How do you go on vacation? How do you hang out with Danny? And it's a wonderful, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you have property managers? Do you have people hired that just deal with everything?
So we have
basically what I'm asking, and this is the name of this section, is how to not become a tired landlord. Because 80% of the business that we do are retired landlords or people that inherit these properties, right?
Correct.
And it's because they had stars in their eyes. They were all excited about owning rental properties. And then the wear and tear and the emotions of the tenants and the situation of everything going on just turns it into a nightmare.
It does. So I'll give you kind of a point of reference. We have about 65, 70 rental properties.
Yeah.
We're going to get to 100 before we hire somebody full-time to run all that.
Okay.
Right now, Danny runs everything, all 65 rentals. She spends an hour a week on it.
Okay.
And the reason why we were able to not pull our hair out the entire time is it's a couple different things. Every single property we buy, we need to get it deep enough where we do a full renovation, fix everything, make it
prime,
make it tenant proof, granite countertop, whatever. Make it like if somebody wants to get in there and screw it up, they can. You'll be okay.
So you're still finding good deals.
Still finding good. That's the key to all of this.
Okay.
Always find a good deal.
Yeah.
Because that'll let you get in and do everything without skimping on whatever.
Yeah.
And again, that does two things. That takes care of it reduces the repairs and maintenance,
Mhm.
all the CapEx that you could possibly encounter on a rental. But
What's CapEx?
Capital expenditures,
Got it.
like an AC, a roof,
Yeah.
underground plumbing. And again, that's why we buy newer properties, because we don't want any of that headache.
Right.
But what it really does is it gives you the pick of the litter when you're renting those homes,
Yeah.
because everybody looks at it like, holy crap, that's a nice home. That's better than a first sale product.
Right.
So you get hundreds of applications,
Yeah.
and now you're picking and choosing who the absolute best person is.
Mhm.
Credit, income,
Awesome.
and job.
Yep. Awesome.
And then the second
So do you
thing,
burr out of it?
I burr out of it.
Do you use, what's those investor loans? What are they called?
DSCR loans.
Yeah.
I don't do any of these right now because the
Interest rates.
rates it's impossible.
So now you're going to find your other 30 properties by sub twos.
Correct.
Awesome.
Correct.
Yeah, sure. Nice.
But
Yeah.
another thing, I think this is important on how you could not bootstrap, but streamline the management side,
Yeah.
is we put smart locks literally on everything.
Yep.
So instead of going out and meeting a tenant out there who wants to go see it, or a tenant who lost their key, we can literally control it from the computer.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to go in and see, we'll create a temporary code. They go see it. It keeps things a lot easier. And then 2, always get somebody on online payment systems.
Mhm.
Never take cash. Never meet them. Never have them come to your office with a check or a cashier's
Right.
check, whatever it is. Always force them to go onto the online platform. You do not want to handle cash, and plus it makes everything significantly
course.
easier.
Yeah. Last question.
Mhm.
Why single family? Why not just apartments? Why not a big, apartment?
I like single family because with single family, you have 2 different exits.
Yep.
You could exit to back when Wall Street was buying and the hedge funds were all crazy, right?
Mhm.
You could sell a property on a cap rate basis, a single family,
Mhm.
if the environment's going that way, or you could sell it on a comp or a comparable sales approach.
Yeah.
With a multifamily, that's the most interest rate sensitive asset out of any. Well, they're all interest rate sensitive,
Yeah.
but single family, it's not that way.
Right.
It's not that way.
And you can get in and out a lot faster.
Liquidity.
I mean,
in and
it's
out.
like it's like you were saying. It's like, single families like Bitcoin. You could cash out of that anytime. Apartment complex is like a treasury bond or something. You know what I mean?
Dude,
or
yeah.
like a 5-year, 10-year treasury. It takes a long time to get out of that property.
And you can't get a good deal on a multifamily building. You're not going to go and steal a 250 unit apartment complex.
Right.
You could get a great deal on single families.
That's why you're building them.
That's why I'm building.
So you're now wholesaler, fix and flipper, rental portfolio, build to rent, right?
Correct.
Because you're raising funds, you're buying dirt, you're doing that whole thing. I mean, you're really, really getting into the nitty gritty. I mean, this is going to be. I can't wait to see you after this whole project. I mean, it's going to be phenomenal, but it's going to take a lot of your life.
Oh, dude, you see these gray hairs?
A lot
right
of
here?
life, right?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it's very frustrating dealing with permitting and dealing with design and dealing with costs and dealing with everything.
Plus, you're taking other people's money, so now you have to be a safeguard on that capital.
Of course.
Right?
Yep.
So it just adds a whole nother layer of complexity.
Awesome.
But this is my first love right here.
Yeah.
Single family.
Single family, good areas, good income coming in, and you bought a ton with really good debt, so low interest rate debt. Now you look to add to your portfolio. So you're buying from wholesalers that are doing sub twos or finding them yourself and doing the sub twos and making sure that they're good deals.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Guys, give it up for Jared Vidalis. Absolutely incredible. Did you guys learn something there? Yeah. Awesome. Absolutely. Jared, how can people find you?
You can find me
because you finally decided that you wanted to actually be on social media.
Oh man,
which is nice.
It took a long time, but yeah,
I bet it's going to help with raising funds,
dude. It's so much fun.
Right.
I'm having a blast.
Good.
But folks could find me at Instagram at Jared_Vidalis. Don't go to the underscore guy. He has more followers than me, but he's a fake guy. But
really?
One underscore. And I talk about everything from single family rentals, a lot of fix and flip construction, and then a lot of the development projects that we have going on right now.
Awesome. Jared, Thanks for
Bro,
stopping by.
Thanks for
We'll have you back again.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Guys, give it up for Jared. Awesome. Give him some love in the comments section. Get out of here. Go buy some houses or develop some houses or harass a contractor, or the other way around.
I'll try.
Yeah.
See you guys.
All right. You have that microphone on? Guys, absolutely incredible. We're going to be opening this up to questions and answers. Let's go back real quick here, Matt, if you can, to the 5 steps. I think it's really, really important because this dovetails with the conversation that we just had with Jared. Is the 5 steps here. Discovery, how to go and find discounted properties. That's number 1, right? You squat up, you find your tribe, you find people that are a few steps ahead of you. They have the experience. They're going to help you. They're going to hold your hand, walk you through it, right? Number 2 is your proof of concept, baby. Faith to fact, right? You're burning up your faith. You know that you could do this. You go back to those times in your life where you thought something was hard, but you pushed through and you succeeded. You get proof of concept, and then you get consistency so you can fire your boss. You get so consistent and you get all your systems down that you fire yourself, which is incredible. I mean, firing your boss, that's a great day. Firing yourself is a better day. I mean, when you can trust people enough to do a better job than you can in certain roles in the business, and then buy the best deals. I'm telling you, this is the exact path. If I were to pull this up with Jared in front, this is the exact path that he went on. Because I was there at the beginning before he had ever done any deals. Because he interviewed with the company to do some deals. Incredible. But he got proof of concept fast because he's really smart and he's really motivated. And then he went full time. He fired his corporate job. He got out of there. Part of that was obviously he sold Bitcoin, which, good for him. And then, but he had people running his whole show. He had a good big team. And they do a great job. They're still with him. So he fired himself, and then he goes out and buys the best deals. And that's what really excites him. And he loves challenging himself. He's on this thing, right? Every time you challenge yourself, you go through that little flat period for a little bit. And then you climb up as long as you stay focused. And the only reason he was able to stay focused is because he followed this. Discovery, proof of concept, fire your boss, fire yourself, and then buy the best deals. And so, interesting. I think that guy could do any kind of deal anytime. So there you go. We're going to be moving on to the question and answers format. If we have any questions, we'll be able to go through that. Matt, how are we looking? We got some questions that we're going to go through before we do that. Make sure, guys, that you check out the Black Friday sale that we have with Wholesaling Inc. $1,000 off of the mentorship. Absolutely bananas. This is the time to jump into the most proactive group in real estate investing. The course, the Rhino Suite 5-course bundle, and the Leads Unleashed. Don, you simply go to Rhino Black Friday, click that Learn More, and they're all laid out. Here, you want to know what it is? There. Here we go. You've got... hold on. Millionaire Mindset, the Wholesaling Blueprint, the 90-day action plan, building a 7-figure team, and outsourcing your cold calling for less than $100. That is less than a tank of gas these days, Handra. Less than a tank of gas, $97. Boom. There you go. There's your question and answer there. The mentorship is right here. To apply now, you jump right in and start rocking and rolling. Get in there. If you're interested in mentorship, if you're interested in being around people that are doing amazing things, doing more than you, make sure that you click that apply now button. My team will call you right away and make sure that we're each a good fit for each other. How we doing? This is crazy. We've been going 2 hours, 24 minutes. I like this. I like what we're doing here. Anybody, we got Instagram going, we got TikTok going. It's just doing its thing, huh? That's fine. All right, cool. What questions do we have? Let's open it up. InvestQuest_17. Do you think pre-foreclosures and probates are good for beginners? Absolutely. I mean, listen, you heard Clifford Walker He did his first deals from pre-foreclosures. So I think that that's a really strong way to start. Probates as well. I think that driving for dollars is the best for beginners, without a doubt. But I wouldn't listen. It's all about conversations and offers. So you know that there's inherent motivation because pre-foreclosures they have something going on financially. On the flip side, with probates, you could just look at the stats. 80% of people are going to sell their, or 75% of people are going to sell that inherited property in the first 90 days. In the first 90 days. So they're motivated. They're ready to go. And a lot of the properties, let's just be honest, a lot of the properties are dated. A lot of the properties need significant renovation. When my grandma moved out here from Chicago, they had not updated the property in 30, 40 years. They sold it to a fix and flipper. I mean, that's somebody needed to completely renovate it. What do you think happens with all these houses? You know, we think that we own these houses. We're just passing through. It's kind of like what Tom was talking about with money. It's not our money. We're just the stewards of it for a little while. Rich C, do you feel that Facebook ads is a good deal source? Interesting. I don't know. I haven't done enough, and I'm not going to stand up here and speak to it. What I do know is with pay-per-click, people are actually searching for you. They're searching for an offer in their property, which is very powerful. Now, Facebook is just like any kind of other advertising. So, Rich, test it out. Test it out. You can build a lookalike audience with your lists and put ads in front of them and see what happens. We did a deal with a wholesaler here in town. We actually bought his property and cleaned it up and sold it to a hedge fund, made like $120,000. But he got it from Facebook ads. And he was just running it, I mean, pretty low budget. So test it for sure. Yeah. I mean, we'll probably get into testing, but we wanted to get pay-per-click going, and it's been phenomenal. Crochet for beginners. Awesome.
This was asked when you and Jerry were going at it.
If this didn't sound too good to be true, which part, Matt?
Like it was right after you were talking about like how easy it is to get started and you know what I mean? Like wholesale.
Well, I mean, this is crochet for beginners. This is wholesale for beginners, if you want it to be. I mean, you've got the steps. Listen, there's people that own ugly houses. Conversations and make offers. Yeah. I don't really know the comment, but I guess that makes sense. JF, Wholesaling Inc., what technology or services should a beginner use to get started? I really like Deal Machine. I think Deal Machine is going to get you really far, and it's a good resource. Batch Leads is fantastic. Batchleads.io is fantastic. You can use a coupon code TTP with both of those, and they hook you up. TTP as in like what's on my shirt, talk to people. And yeah, those are great resources to comp the properties, to pull lists, to stay organized, to get all the details for all the property owners. Yeah, those are two great resources. Guys, we got Jerry Norton coming up in 32 minutes. Jerry Norton coming up 32 minutes. It's going to be absolutely incredible. He's going to be talking about what to expect in 2024. Liana, question. Can I get a deal from another wholesaler and double close? Meaning I get it from the wholesaler, use transactional funding, and sell it to my buyer. Sorry, not sure if that's the term. Yeah, absolutely. Let me draw this up for you. All right, just so that everybody's clear on what we're talking about here. Okay, so you've got a property owner here, and you've got a wholesaler here. There you go. Very powerful wholesaler, very happy, and they put together a purchase agreement. Okay, and then this wholesaler sells it to you, assigns it to you. as an assignment agreement. So here you are, Liana. I'll give you a little cool hair. And there we go. You're also very powerful and very happy. And then you have a cash buyer, right? Here he is, or she is, or they are. And you want to sell that deal to the cash buyer. So you do another purchase agreement. So this purchase agreement got assigned to you. So then you would have to close this purchase agreement here with transactional funding. So transactional funding for everybody. Let me just speak to this for a second, because this, we can unpack this, and I love this. Transactional funding makes all of us cash buyers. When you're talking to this property owner here, and you are a wholesaler, you can speak confidently that you are a cash buyer, because there's something called transactional funding. They will give you 100% of your purchase price. 100%. Isn't that incredible? You get 100%. That's like having 20, 30, 40, $100 million in your back pocket. Isn't that great? So when you're going to talk to the property owner, you're going as the cash buyer. I'm the buyer. You can buy it. You can close on it. If it's a deal, you can close on it, which you should only be locking up deals. So there you go. So now you are officially a cash buyer. I don't have any money in my account. Doesn't matter. They're an asset-based lender. That means that they are lending that money based on this asset, this one here, on the property. If it's a good enough deal, they don't care. And they already know that you've got this guy, gal, company that wants to buy it. So you've got your purchase agreement assigned to you from here. And now you do another purchase agreement right here. And then what you're going to do is, let's what's a good hard money lender? Let's just draw like here you go. And this is a guy. That's money. Okay, guys, there you go. This is your hard money lender. Your hard money lender is going to close this for you. And then this buyer is going to pay this at the same day, at the same time. So as soon as this one gets done right here, as soon as you get funding from your hard money lender, and this and the hard and your buyer brings in their own funds on the same day, the hard money lender gets anywhere from 1% to 3%. Can you imagine that? Why would anybody lend money for people that don't have a track record, don't have good credit, don't have job history, don't have money in the bank? Because they get 1.5% to 3%. You got to already show them that you have somebody that's going to buy this. So you get they get 1% to 3%. Imagine if that is a $200,000 deal. They're going to get $2,000 to $6,000 for lending the money for 3 hours. That is a nice return on investment for that hard money lender. Make sense? Any questions there? I like this iPad thing, man. This is slick. Makes my handwriting look kind of crazy and cool. Look at my good stick people. They're like phenomenal. It's like I've been doing it for years. That's what I say. That's what I say, man. You know? It's like I've been doing this for years. But I thought that it was really interesting, right? I thought what Jared was saying was interesting, that he's not adding to his rental portfolio with conventional loans right now, right? Oh, Dimitri, my man. I love Dimitri. Dimitri's the man. Dimitri's living his life and doing deals. He's in Europe. He's doing deals in Florida. He's running around. Beautiful wife, beautiful life. Living the dream. He's my hero. He's incredible. Brent, can you structure a business of hard money loans as carried interest to get long-term capital gain taxation, or is it all earned income? That is, I have no idea, Dimitri. I mean, I would love to ask a hard money lender that. A business of hard money loans as carried interest. Yeah, I mean, maybe. So what he's talking about is not taking payments every month, but like rolling it into the loan payoff. So imagine this. Imagine that you've got $100,000 and you loan it to some builder, right? He's got his hammer. He's building stuff. It looks like a crutch, but it's a hammer. And he's pretty happy too. Everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying? He's happy. And he's going to be working on this for a while. It's going to be 6 months, 8 months, a year, hopefully a year project, because there's capital gains difference, right, on the seasoning of a loan. I don't know what it is. I'm talking probably like 30% knowledge. So find the other 70% on the internet. But instead of making 12%, usually those are 12% loans. So that's 1% a month. So that's $1,000 a month. Instead of taking it monthly, when it pays off, you just take it as $112,000 for a loan payoff at the end. And then it's a year later, and it's long-term capital gains, not just the earned income that this would be created. Earned income is taxed differently than capital gains. So I hear what you're saying. I think I'm doing this all right. But please correct me in the comments section if anybody has more experience with that than I do. But Dimitri, great to see you, bud. Guys, if you're not following Dimitri, make sure that you are. All right? Awesome. Are we having some people jump on live, Matt?
Yeah.
All right. Got to turn your camera on. We want to see your beautiful face. Awesome. Awesome. Who do we got? Joshua, welcome.
What's going on, Brent?
What are you in the Army?
Actually, yeah, active duty in the Air Force.
Air Force. Oh, you're one of those brainiacs. Okay. I see what's going on. That's tough to get into. That's awesome. Well, thank you for your service. What's going on?
Hey, yeah. So I just want to say thank you for doing this. We always been following you, and then also a big thanks to Clifford. I actually know Clifford personally, and we closed a deal together last week.
Hold on. That is awesome. What'd you make? Oh, did we lose him? Oh, there you are. What'd you make on that deal?
It was 65.
65,000? That's the one he was talking about earlier today?
Probably so.
That was your deal?
Yeah, we work on it together. Yeah.
How'd you find it?
So I will say like a lot of it has been thanks to Clifford. So myself being active duty, there's obviously the time constraint. So we have moved to a lot of inbound marketing, and so we've done a lot of Facebook ads. So basically, right now we're in Texas, here in Texas, and we're doing two to three deals a month, and they're all coming really from inbound marketing. So this one was Facebook ads.
What do you spend on Facebook ads?
So right now we're spending $2,000 to $3,000.
That's a nice return on investment there, brother. That's incredible. So $2,000 to $3,000. Are you managing the ads yourself, or do you hire somebody?
We hire somebody. So we actually pay them per deal.
Really? Is it just a company, or is it just another investor? What is it?
Yeah. So basically, how we started doing this is because my wife, she's part of the Women's Real Estate Investor Network.
Love it. Yeah.
So basically, yeah. So there's a lady that's also an investor that has a marketing company, and basically we talked to her, and so there's some people that don't like talking to people, but I don't mind. So we just connected with her, and then hey, let's use your expertise and our ability to close more deals, and it has really worked out for us.
Amazing. Congratulations. So You're getting you're doing 2 to 3 deals a month. You're getting it from Facebook leads. What else?
We're also using actual inbound marketing from PPC. So we're using platforms like Some More Leads as one of them. And we're also using another one that is called Sell My House Fast.
Yep.
And
so those are what we call PPLs, not pay per click. Those are pay per lead.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, we've been testing out a company called propertyleads.com, and it's going really well.
Okay. Yeah. So my question was, because I saw you talking about, your PPC, like about $10,000. That really draws our attention, because it was really about that much where you had to spend, even on the PPL, to actually get good deals. It's about $10,000, because we closed on a PPL lead the week last week on Wednesday too. It was a subject to property, and it came from a PPL.
Awesome.
So I just really want to know more of the insight on that.
Yeah, so with the pay-per-click, I really like it because you can really season your website. You can really rank up higher. You can get into some SEO stuff as well, where you're getting more free leads. But that's what pay-per-lead is just SEO. They're just popping up after all those ads. Then they pop up top, and that's why they make a fortune selling those leads. That's why a lot of the times they'll refund you if it's a bad lead. Or if it's listed or something like that. Not if you can't close it because of your skills, which makes it kind of tricky, but it's all profit for them. So I think, running pay-per-click and understanding that part of the process, and it takes years to build up, that is one of our strategies. But also I like to be able to control how many leads I had coming in with property leads, or Sell My House Fast, or sell More Leads, or some of these other companies that are paper leads. There just wasn't enough. There just wasn't enough leads in our area to bid on. And so to really grow and to do a bunch of deals, we had to be able to hunt ourselves. So that's what I feel like with the pay-per-click. And I think once you get it really figured out, it's really powerful. It's really powerful to have something that is consistently, like you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my gosh, okay, we need a lead. Boom, something drops into you know what I mean? Something drops in, you're like, oh, this is incredible. So I think all roads lead to pay-per-click. I think it's the smartest strategy. I think it's more, you can have more predictability from it, is really the main point, Joshua.
Awesome. Oh, Thank you. You
got it. How long have you been in the Air Force?
About 7 years now.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely incredible. Listen, I've got a lot of people in the Rhino tribe in the armed services, and they're phenomenal. They're absolutely phenomenal. They have the discipline. They know that there's, they're active duty, but they know that there's an end to that, and they don't want to just be working for somebody else after they get out.
Yeah. Like for me personally, it was and Clifford knows all of this too. Like, I personally came to the States from Puerto Rico, and not knowing no English at all, by no means. And joining the Air Force, I started doing that, and then started real estate investing, not knowing anything, and really growing and using the mentorship. This is why we're here, and trying to continue learning. But we're always listening to you, your podcast, and all this, and like talking to people. I like that. So yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you. Thank you for jumping on here. I'm so excited. Close a $65,000 deal. I mean, that's got to be close to what you make in a year. Maybe not. I don't know. Air Force is pretty fancy.
No, that's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely incredible. We'll keep it going, and hopefully we'll see you again, and maybe I can get you on the podcast and interview you.
That would be awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Joshua. See you, buddy. Absolutely incredible. Look at that, huh? You know what he did? A couple of things. Boom, boom. Mentorship, boom. Squatted up. That's it. I'm telling you. Like, just be around people doing this business. Just be around these people doing this business. If you want to be around the most proactive, you know it. It's right here. Black Friday sale at rhinoblackfriday.com. Check it out if you're interested in joining the mentorship. If you're interested in the 5-course bundle for less than $100. That's crazy. I think I spent $100 on a sandwich the other day. Yeah. I feel like everything's expensive. And $7 for the cold call training. Must have. Definitely check that out, guys. Absolutely incredible. Speaking of Puerto Rico and Joshua that was just on here, in 15 minutes, we're going to have the incredible Jerry Norton on here, the flipping mastery. The flipping genius is going to be here in 15 minutes. And guys, stick around. By the way, you think this is just a 4-hour show. Right after the 4-hour show, we go right in. We smoothly dive in to your favorite, my favorite, and you know it, Wholesale Hotline. Absolutely incredible. Pace Morby, Jamil Damji, myself, maybe some guests. Who knows? Sip Rodriguez, great question. Brent, how do you get comfortable with the no's? A couple different things, okay? First of all, I don't know if you really ever get comfortable. You just get thicker skin. And what I mean by that is if you understand the metrics, if you understand that 199 people, this is statistics speaking, 199 people are going to tell you no, but one will tell you yes, and that one yes is worth $15,000. You know that. If you know that, then you're more focused on that one yes than you are the 199 no's. And it's just reps. You're not gonna get it first off the bat. You're not gonna get it and feel perfect and flawless off the bat. You're not gonna feel super confident off the bat. But over time, you're gonna build it up. You're gonna build it up. You're gonna build it up, and you're gonna get more comfortable with the no's. You are. I mean, maybe not more comfortable, but you'll have thicker skin. You'll just be focused on the yes. That's it. The only issue you run into with the no's is you get almost like a reflex that you assume that people are going to say no, but it's not the case. Absolutely not the case. There will be people that want to do business. About 1 in 10 will tell you, how much will you give me? They'll tell you, yes, I do want to sell. If you're calling the right lists, right? And then out of those 20, one will close. The other ones you got to follow up with. And there could be more in that 1 out of 200, but usually it's about 1 out of 200. So, I mean, the other 199 just don't need your service right now. Or they just don't need you right now. It's great, but one will. And that's really encouraging. So then it's just a numbers game. And I just knew, like, getting on the phone is a lot easier than being broke. It just is. Right? Getting up and talking to strangers is a lot easier than being broke. When that deal closes and you get that wire in and you get that check and you get to put it in your account and you see it there and it breaks your brain. I'm telling you, Joshua, with that $65,000 deal, that's brain-breaking stuff. That's like, holy cow, I can't believe it. First time that hits your account, I mean, you're just like, oh my gosh. You start thinking about money different. You start thinking about your business different. Start thinking about opportunities different, right? And so break your brain. Go out there. Be brave. It's the whole courage thing, you know? You don't have to have courage when everything's going right. You don't have to get courage if you're not scared. You have courage when you are scared, and you do it anyway, right? That's been said since, I don't know, the dawn of poetry, I suppose. But that's what it is. It's not the absence of fear. It's doing it otherwise in the face of fear. And that's really what it comes down to. Self-doubt. Self-doubt. Worried that you're not going to be able to do something right. Nathan, does the title company get paid if the seller changes their mind and doesn't want to sell 2 days before it's set to close? If so, who pays them? What happens if you've already assigned it? Typically not, Nathan. Typically they're a pay for results type of situation. And so, yeah. I mean, typically there's no cost. Some areas there are, especially smaller markets. If they're worried that it's going to fall out, they just need to make payroll, be able to support their staff. But some of the bigger companies in the bigger markets, it's not really an issue. Wholesaling Inc. Stanley. Boom. I did buy it, Matt, because of this color. I like the logo in the corner too. I was like, why does he not have a clear logo? That's so ridiculous. It's to match all the like 80s arcade stuff, right? Love it. Oh, the CEO. Let's go. Brent, are novation contracts the only way to wholesale a house to someone that needs a loan? Yes, typically. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just a different deal. If you try to assign a contract, it depends. The reason, man, I hate it depends answers, the attorney's answers. I just hate it. I just hate it. But you can use it for everything. But so small banks, some small banks are fine with it. Big banks aren't. They don't want to see assignments. They want to see the original buyer on the original contract. Now, if somebody wants to buy a property that's in decent shape and they want that loan, they want that property, they could pay for it out of pocket. They could just cut you a check. You put their name on it and it's done. Some small banks don't care about the assignment as long as the appraisal comes in. But yeah, if they're going to get conventional financing, there's a rule. There's a rule for wholesaling real estate. Cash, cash, cash. Cash offers only. Cash offers only. What's the average amount of words a person says in a day? 10,000? Is it difference between men and women?
Yeah,
Significant difference?
Yeah.
Interesting. Love to know that. Because I think I'm going bananas today. InvestQuest 17. How you break to an agent or seller the price is too high if you locked it up, and how you deal with the seller telling you that they are shopping your offer for other wholesalers or realtors. Okay, a couple different things there. I love that. All right, let's get into it. So number one is you have a couple different ways to deal with a agent and price is too high. Number one is this. Number one, full-blown inspection. You hire an inspector to go in there and do an inspection on these rough-looking houses. And I'm telling you, it's a bloodbath. And you drop it on there and you go, listen, this is more work than we thought it was. We thought that we knew what was going on. That's why we asked for the inspection period, but I need to get it this big of a decrease in price. Full-blown inspection. So that's one way. Number two, just say, hey, I need to cancel the deal. And they go, what happened? What's going on? We did our numbers wrong. It doesn't make sense. There's more repairs than we thought. Whatever, right? And usually, listen, I think InvestQuest _17. And when you went into that deal, you might think, oh, this is pretty tight. This is a tight deal, but maybe I'll be able to get it done. If it's ever a tight deal, you need to start seasoning the seller immediately and the agent immediately that you are probably going to ask for a price reduction. Right? So really, if it's a tight deal, start the conversation early. Okay? And that's, but also, without a doubt, do not get a price reduction. Do not get a price reduction without already having a guaranteed buyer. Jeez Louise. There you go. Don't get a price reduction without having a buyer. Because you get the price reduction and you still can't sell it, you're going to have problems. It's just going to be a problem. So don't do that. right? Don't do that. Don't get a price reduction without having a buyer, okay? Really, 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 really critical. So that's how you start that. Second part of that is, how do you deal with a seller that are shopping your offer? Well, a couple different things. Advanced agreements. Advanced agreements. Advanced agreement is when I come out to the house and if we agree on price and terms, are you ready to move forward and sign the agreement when I come out? Is there anything stopping you? Is there anything stopping us from doing business if I can get you the price and terms that you're looking for? Is anything stopping us? Yeah, I want 3 bids. Great. What are you looking for in those bids? Right? What are you looking for? At least when you ask the question, you can pull out the objections to moving forward, which is really important because then you know how to respond to that seller and you're not getting blindsided. So advanced agreements pulls out the objections, okay? Now, if they're dead set on getting 2 or 3 different bids, then you just got to find out why. What's going on there? So if I gave you the perfect offer, you're not willing to take it. You need 2 other offers, even though you're going to go with my offer. Yes. Well, why don't you just go with my offer? Well, I need to know that I'm getting the most for it. Well, how much do you want for it? What do you feel is the most for this property? I don't know. I want to be in the open market. Okay, so is that the only thing that's determining it? If I'm not the highest, but you trust me to get it closed, are you telling me you're going to take a different offer? Right? You guys following this? Because you got to find out what is most important to them. Are you looking to have a really smooth process here, or you just want to take the highest offer? Because in my experience, people will outbid us, especially if you tell them what our offer is, just to get the deal, and then they immediately start beating you up for a price reduction in the inspection period. Because people will, without a doubt. So do you want this to be as smooth as possible? Do you want to work with a reputable company? Have you seen our TV commercials? Have you seen our website? Have you seen this? Have you seen our Google reviews? Have you talked to the title company? Have you done all of these things to make sure that the person that you decide to work with can actually get the deal closed? And then if they don't, sometimes they still just want to shop it. It's crazy, but that's fine. You know what I mean? I think that Ryan Thornton, my acquisition manager, best in the country, he just he pulls out all sorts of different things in that conversation. Because people go, well, I don't know what I want for it, so I want to get bids. Well, then how will you know when it's a good offer? And he says it nicely. I mean, you can ask most questions if your tone is strong. Jeremiah Denning, welcome. Thank you for being on here and being brave, putting in a question. I've got a property under contract and a cash buyer lined up. Is opening escrow with title company next? Yes. Open up immediately. Immediately. And then, listen to me. Listen, Jeremiah. $5,000 non-refundable earnest deposit. $5,000 non-refundable earnest deposit. That's what your cash buyer has to come in come to the table with if they're going to do business with you. $5,000 non-refundable earnest deposit. That's what's going to keep them in there and make sure that they are committed. They're committed. Okay. Guys, coming up, Jerry Norton. Is he in? Oh, Jerry's already here. Guys, listen, we're talking flipping genius. We're talking well on his way to 1 million subscribers, teaching everybody about real estate. It's Jerry Norton, the flipping genius, my man, my friend, and co-contributor to the Wholesale Hotline podcast. Jerry Norton, all the way from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. He's flipping, I don't know, motels, hotels. He's developing. He's fighting against Odysseus on a daily battle. because they're trying to just swallow up the island of Puerto Rico. He's still doing it with a smile on his face. He's still doing it with 10 children. He's still doing it with his wonderful wife that's there to be his rock. Jerry Norton, where you at, bud? Boom.
Yeah, hey, Brent.
Hey, brother, how are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I am 3 hours in of a 5.5 hour live today, bud.
How's your energy levels?
You tell me. I feel good.
Yeah.
This is good.
For a bit. You look great.
The bright lights. I get to lean on this thing every once in a while. I get to pound the table. I get to ring the bell. And life doesn't get better, bud.
You giving away some good nuggets today?
Trying. Yeah. I think that 2024 is going to be a really exciting time to be a wholesaler. I think it's a really exciting time to find some really unique opportunities, whether they are to wholesale some creative deals or sub-2 deals or just traditional run-of-the-mill cash offer deals, right? So we broke all those down on how to approach all these offers. And I've been, really inspired by you. I got my Inman subscription and have been following a lot of the real estate news that's out there. But I really wanted to get your perspective. I don't think there's anybody in the country or just outside the country in a territory that knows more about what to expect in the real estate market in 2024 when it comes to wholesaling flipping. So what do you think? What do you think, Jerry?
Yeah, well, I think it's an important question. I mean, it is and it isn't, because when you know how to play the game, it really doesn't matter if it goes up or down or sideways. Like,
sure.
Like I think for you, you're it's not like you're going to sit the sidelines. I'm not going to sit the sidelines. So I think the first thing, like right now, is this is the conversation, right? Like I'm seeing on YouTube and the news outlets and social media, all this, like the market's going to crash because it's like the perfect timing. Everybody's thinking about next year. So, all those headlines get all the million views and it's the same every year. Like every year there's another crash that's about to happen. And it's just kind of, to me, it's just, why do we do that? And why are people so interested in maybe the sky is falling kind of mindset? I don't know, but
yeah,
here we are, right? And that's kind of the conversation. But I really don't see a market crash for sure, and I really don't see a decline in the market in 2024. I think we'll see kind of flat market and probably a little bit of an increase, maybe 3, 4, 5% increase next year. And I mean, it really just comes down to basic economics. You got sellers that don't want to get out of their low interest rate, and you got buyers that don't want to buy into high interest rate. So we just don't have very much inventory. I mean, it's just bottom line, no inventory. Prices aren't really coming down. There's just not a lot really to go for. So I think that's just going to play out a lot in 2024.
But Jerry, the cost of living, it's too crazy. Nobody could ever afford these prices. It's now double to live in the same house that it was, 2 years ago. There's got to be some correction. There's got to be some resetting of the real estate market, right? That's what people are selling.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at it in 2021, we sold 6 million homes. In 2022, 5 million, and this year 4 million. I mean, we're just not selling the homes. There's just not enough homes, and they can't build them to catch up, and rental demand's high. I mean, it's just not. I just don't think we're going to see it. Here's the thing that's kind of interesting is like I've really taken a good look. I tried to send over a text to you. I don't know if it went through or not, but if you really look at like the headlines that I like to look at that crack me up are the like, we're about to do 08 all over again, right? I mean, that's like, that's the best one. And but if you think about it, after the 08 market crash, the government passed the qualified mortgage rules, which basically in a nutshell said that we're not going to do loans anymore to people that don't qualify. They don't have good FICO scores. They don't have good credit. And so we saw a massive swing in people's credit going up. FICO scores are higher. I think the average person right now has, what is it? A couple hundred, 200,000 almost in equity, so, and then the biggest thing is jobless claims. Like the thing that might drive prices down would be if we go into a job recession. Mm-hmm. But even if you look at those numbers, those need to be in like the 300s, and we're in the low 200s as far as like jobless claims right now. We're at really low jobless claims. So even though the government's like trying to slow the economy, it's just not really working. We're not really having unemployment. And so if job claims aren't going to happen, then we're not going to see defaults. Even if we see defaults, people aren't going to let their equity, they're not going to lose their home if they've got equity.
Yep.
So, I mean, I just don't see the way that you trash a market, the way that you really drive a market down is with an increase in inventory, and you have to have a lot of bad inventory, AKA foreclosures. The foreclosures are at an all-time low, even with like a little bit of a bump. There's still historically low foreclosures and bankruptcies than we've seen in 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Why? I mean, because people have equity, and the banks, by the way, will do all sorts of loan modifications, right? 90% of the people that are behind on payments get a loan mod, and that wasn't available in 2008. Plus, all the different adjustable rate mortgages. I was talking about that early on the show. I had all those. They adjusted. I lost those properties. That added to the inventory in 2009 and 10. We just don't have that. So where are the opportunities, you think, Jerry?
Yeah.
Where do we find? How do we build? How is this the best year ever for us? You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the conversation I think is fun to have. Like, is it going to crash? No, it's not going to crash. Is it going to decline? I really don't see it declining. Probably flat, maybe a little bit of increase. But the real conversations that I want to have, like if I'm hanging out with Brent Daniels, I'm going to be talking about, okay, well, what's working? What's not working? How are you growing your wholesale business? What channels are doing? I mean, that's the conversation that's fun for me is like, what do we see on the horizon that's going to help us grow our businesses, you know?
Yep.
And so like, there's a few things that I'm really, I don't know, concerned about or paying attention to. There's a lot of regulation coming down with text and cold calling. Those channels, you and I talked about this on the phone the other day. Those channels are really struggling. And in my markets where I'm doing deals, those are a lot less effective than they were even a year ago.
Yep.
You know, so I'm trying to navigate through that a little bit with my teams. Like, okay, well, how much do we budget to text and cold call? Is it still a viable channel? You know, I'm not super quick to abandon because I've kind of noticed that when everyone gets hypey about something not working, everybody stops doing it, and then it works a lot better. So I'm kind of hoping that might happen.
Me too.
You know, I'm really big on PPC right now. We're doing really well with pay-per-click as a marketing channel.
Yeah.
I still like traditional direct mail. I think that's still, you know, a viable model. So, you know, I'm pretty excited about just traditional real estate. You know, I think I tell people, if you got into this industry, if you got into wholesale real estate in the past 2 years during the boom, you're pretty screwed up because you were operating in a very weird market that was not normal. And now we're back. It feels to me like we're back to basics, right? We're back to sound business practices. You got to buy right. You got to buy deep. Your buyers aren't going to overpay for properties, right? They're going to want a deal.
Yeah.
This is where I mean, like, this is fun for me because I know how to operate in a normal environment like this. The last thing was like nobody knew anything, and it was just like, okay, well, hey, it's worth way more than when I bought it a minute ago. Okay, great, let's make some more money. And you know what was happening too was people who should have gone out of business weren't going out of business because if they just sat on something for 6 months, they sold it and made money, even though they bought wrong and they over renovated or under renovated or whatever they did. They screwed everything up and still made money. Whereas in a normal market, those people fall by the wayside. Like the natural ebb and flow of people coming and going is more normal, right?
Yep.
Because if you don't buy right and you screw up and you lose money, people can only do that a few times and then they leave, right? So then they're gone, and then of course there's new people that come in, but it kind of levels the playing field. And I just like operating in a market where we're actually following sound business practices.
Yeah. I mean, you have to get really good deals. It's crazy, Jerry. You know? I mean, you gotta get really great deals, but that's the beautiful thing. I mean, there's great deals all over the place. You know what I mean? And the people that don't have sound business practices are gone. They're gone. You can't just wander into a deal and be able to just make money onto it. You know?
Yeah, I think one of the big changes that I'm going to see, and I'm one of them. You may have been doing this already, but you know, during COVID and you know, Zoom became like normal. We saw this massive transfer with I like to call them mega wholesalers, but you know, the $1 million producers. and everybody went virtual.
Yep.
And many still operate virtual. It's a model that works, but I think what we're going to see is we're going to see a reversal back to traditional backyard markets. And I'm one of them. Like I like a backyard market. I want to go on appointment is where I'm going with this. I want to go on appointment. I feel like if you can go on appointment in 2024 and you can get face-to-face, belly-to-belly with sellers, that's, I think, how you're going to create a real competitive advantage, because a lot of people are still trying to close on the phone, and that's fine. But man, if I can get on appointment, I'm going to beat out those phone closers every single time, because I can create a much better connection and relationship with that seller.
Well, and I found it's a 20 to 30% difference, virtual versus in person, for sure.
You know what's interesting too, Brent? Tell me what you think about this. So, you know, I'm sitting down with like my partners and team, and we've made a goal to drastically increase our, you know, you got your lead, then your opportunity, you know, a warm lead to appointment. The warm lead or opportunity where someone raises their hand and says, yes, I want to sell, and there's some level of motivation to go on appointment. So our goal is to like 50% appointment rate. I mean, that sounds ridiculous. And you're like, man, do I really want to be spending that much time on appointment? We've seen, though, that the more appointments we go on, the higher close ratios we have. And I think what we're discovering is just people don't tell you everything on the phone. But when you get there, they start to open up and tell you all their distress.
Well, so I started doing TV, right, Jerry, this year. And I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Focusing backyard, going on appointments, doing all this thing. And I was thinking about it, like, I can't imagine like doing a virtual appointment with a plumber or with a electrician or with, you know what I mean? Like, oh, no. You walk around with your phone and show me what's going on with your electric, and we'll get it fixed for you. We'll send somebody out at some point to get it fixed for you, type of thing. And I know it's it's not like but it's a service business. What we're providing is a service business, and getting in front of people is critical. And so really, you know, and this is really a Joe Homebuyer thing, is that go on every appointment. Go on all of them. We've been going on more appointments, Jerry, and it is remarkable. People are dropping $60,000, $80,000, $100,000 on their prices on not destroyed houses. Mm-hmm. Not all the time destroyed. You know, because I always thought, you know, listen, if it's a rough house, get on that appointment. I don't care. Get in front of them. They're going to have to sell it at a discount at some point or fix it up themselves. They'll never fix it up themselves. Get in front of them, right? Now we're sending on everything, Jerry. I mean, absolutely everything, because the fact is we're getting really good deals on these properties.
Are you, Brent, looking at, you know, like they have to meet a certain number of the motivations, you know, or is it just, if they're open to sell and there's some level of distress, let's go on appointment?
Yeah, at this point, it's basically like we're trying to get on every appointment. And some of them are okay. You know, my acquisition managers don't love it. My closer, because he loves just walking in, you know, closing deals and not having to, you know, mess around. But we've hired another guy, Bronson, and he's from the solar world, and he'll go on every appointment. Yeah. Every appointment, and he's like 50-50. And I'm like, what is happening here? This is crazy. Yeah. So, like, you know, I think that that's a huge thing. That's a huge tip that you gave everybody. Go on the appointments if you can. Get somebody to go on those appointments. 20 to 30% difference in the size deals that you get, and people aren't going to give you everything over the phone.
Nope, they're just not. You know, the other big thing that I'm doing differently, I think, would be I'm putting a whole lot more value in the sales of disposition, so the dispo position, than I ever did before, especially during the boom, right? Because you didn't need to. You could wave a contract in the air and someone's going to overpay for it. But what we're finding now is we're implementing some rules where we won't take an offer. We won't take a cash buyer contract unless we've gotten 3 bona fide legit offers. And what it does is it forces dispo to stay on the phone, stay in the conversation, keep outbounding cash buyers, keep working them, and just that one thing. I think we'll see double assignments just in requiring dispo to work harder to find more buyers. Because what happens is, and I've seen this again and again, is you spend all this money, you work really hard, you get this great deal, and then you take the first offer that comes along because it's like you're scared and you're like, okay, 10K assignment, let's just take it. And then like, oh, all this stress is off my shoulders because I was worried if I could do the deal. Instead of confidence in your deal, keep working it. Next thing you know, you find someone paying 15, 20, 25. It's crazy if you'll just keep working a few more days on outbounding cash buyers that you can get such a higher price.
Yeah, the other thing that I found, Jerry, with us here in Phoenix is we got rid of all the big buyers on our initial blast out. They don't see these deals, right? This is going to the people that are buying 1 or 2 or 10 a year type, right? Because you could play the, hey, I've got a higher offer, this is where we're at, or we're up here, you need to be up here, and it goes up. I mean, we're getting 5,000 to 10,000 more on every single deal doing it that way. But the guys that we have these long relationships with that are the type that are just like, hey, I'll buy it, give it to me. The real forceful, who I'm talking about. We'll go to them if for some reason we can't sell it the way that to our big list. You know what I mean? I think that's a lot of people try to send it to the big guys right off the bat. And I think it really restricts their ability to get the most out of every deal with the people that'll pay a little bit more because they don't have a tremendous amount of projects going on.
Yeah, we're following a tactic where what we'll do is as soon as we get the contract, I want to find all of the local active buyers. So in the neighborhood. So we'll use tools like Investor Lift. We'll even do this straight on Zillow and Redfin, where we're looking at, okay, well, who's selling flips in the neighborhood recently? And then we reach out to those buyers and we say, hey, I see that you've just flipped a house, 2 streets over. We got this deal. Maybe you're interested. And then what we'll tell them is we'll say, look, we're just calling some people that are active in this neighborhood today. Tomorrow, 24 hours from today, we're going to blast this out to our entire buyers list. We're giving you VIP buyer. We're giving you first look at this. And so if you're interested at all, you better take a look right now and give me your best price. So we don't give them a price. We say, give me your best price. And then I'll say something like, we're probably going to sell this today. So if you're interested, you need to take a look at this right now. And this is an outbound. We're outbounding the local active cash buyers in like the past couple months right in the neighborhood. Because what I've noticed, and I'm one of them, is flippers love to do deals in the same neighborhoods where they've previously done deals.
For sure.
They all do because they know the neighborhood, the contractors, right? So it's a massive win, and they'll even overpay a little bit usually if they can be in the same neighborhoods.
So you're calling them right off of what? Zillow, Realtor.com?
So we'll do them. We'll get them on Investor Lift. So we subscribe to Investor Lift because they have he's got a couple features that'll let you see what's going on right in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then we'll contact them. But even if you don't have that, because Investor Lift's pretty expensive. I mean, it's an amazing tool, but it's really designed for, wholesalers that are probably doing, 5+ a month, 5 deals or more, because it's pretty expensive. But you can do the same thing, a really toned down version. If you just go on Zillow, what I do is I look at 3 things. I look at solds that were flips. It's easy to identify, right? They're renovated, vacant, staged. Actives. They might be looking for their next deal. They're up for sale right now. So actives, renovated, vacant, staged, easy to identify, highest price homes. And then we'll also contact the lowest sold cash sales, or I don't know if they're cash necessarily, but the lowest sold homes, because those are probably investors that bought that. And right now they're renovating it to then sell. So we'll contact 3 ways of finding them. And then we just look like right in the same neighborhood for that type of a cash buyer. Now, if I do it that way on like Zillow or Redfin or whatever, I won't skip trace and try to find the buyer. I'll go directly to the listing agent that represented that flipper.
For sure. And sometimes it's the same person.
Yeah, sometimes it is, or sometimes it's the same agent that represented when they bought it. But that agent has a relationship with the flipper, and you don't have to pay them. They'll gladly refer your deal to their flipper because that means it's another listing they're going to get on the back end once it's fixed up. So they're bringing value to their flipper when they do that. So I found that if I get about 12 to 15 of those, usually I can find a really good buyer out of that.
And then you're just making sure you're getting 3 offers per deal.
Yeah. Yep. So that's where a sales guy in Dispo, I think, is maybe more valuable than sales and acquisitions because
For sure.
Because those cash buyers, they're savvy. They want to beat you up. They want to negotiate. Like, you need good sales skills on Dispo.
Yeah, Jeremy, my Dispo guy has like ice water in his veins. You know what I mean? Nothing gets him from here. He's just right there all the time, and he's not rude. He's not trying to promise anything and get people to do anything they don't want to do and make decisions on properties he doesn't think would be a good fit for him. He's just like, hey, let me just tell you what's going on. We have these people that are offering. Just give me your highest and best, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, with Dispo, cash buyers are going to be like, oh, well, it needs too much in work, or the comps aren't, and then you got to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and be like, well, hold on a second. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not true. Yeah, because they will try to push you around.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, that lot. Oh, wow. It's just, it's really thin, and you can't really do much with that. And you're like, okay, it's the same lot that everybody has in this neighborhood. So I think it'll work out. Yeah. Awesome. Jerry, what else? Give us some final thoughts here on how we can be successful. What do you think needs to be done so that we can make this the best year?
Yeah. I mean, sound business practices. I think, I think you, more than anything, the biggest thing I hope everybody's feeling is like, this is something that I remember I had you come over to the house one time and we did a video together, and you told me something that I'll never forget. You said the deal of a lifetime comes around once a week.
Yep.
And I'm not sure who you stole that from. I stole it from you. Now, Brent, I did give you credit twice for that.
Dolph DeRoos.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But he's got a deal of a decade.
What is it?
Comes around once a week. That's what Dolph DeRoos said. Yeah. He's been in the studio. He's a great guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I took away from that when you said that was first I heard that, because it just rang true for me, is that when you're in the game and you're not on the sidelines, but you're in the game, you just get luckier and luckier. And it's just that putting in that consistent effort, you're just going to get luckier and luckier, and you're going to get these amazing deals. And people say all the time, oh, how'd you get that lucky deal? And it's like, well, I just am consistent every single day, and that just happens. So people need to realize, like, the name of the game with a wholesale business is just that consistency. Like, if you just can make those offers, just get on the phones and get in front of sellers and put those offers out there, and you can just be consistent. I've never seen somebody not do well that was really good at just being consistent. Track your numbers, make sure you're understanding where you're at, pay attention to your metrics, right? But and be really careful about your marketing channels. Like, you want to understand, what's my cost per contract, what's my cost per lead, and like how am I progressing through my funnel. But if you're paying close attention to that and you're just being consistent, then this really isn't that complicated of a business. I think the one thing that I've realized more than anything this past year is we tend to overcomplicate this business, and it's really not that complicated. It's just consistency more than anything.
That's it. It'll work if you do. It'll work if you do. I mean, that's what it all comes down to. Listen, we're deal finders. We're not deal creators. The more people you talk to, the more opportunities you're going to find, and the more offers you make, the more deals you're going to do. This is Jerry Norton 101 from, 7 years ago, 6 years ago. Make a bunch of offers. Send in blind offers, send in whatever. Just make offers to property owners every single day. If you look at Jerry Norton's YouTube channel, every time, Jerry, you make a video about here's how you make 5 offers without talking to anybody. Here's how you make 10 offers a day. Here's how you get at least 3 deals every single month. It all comes down to making offers.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It's funny how, like, I call it the stars align, which means like your offer comes at the right time, the seller's motivated at the right time, and just kind of everything comes together. And that's basically when a great deal happens, right? Is when all the stars align, timing, everything's perfect. Well, if you think about it, if you do 5 offers a day, 25 a week, 100 a month, once or twice out of those 100 offers, the stars are going to align and you're going to get a great deal.
That's it.
So then like, just take everything out of it and just put the offers out. It doesn't even matter if they're crazy low. It doesn't matter.
Especially if you're targeting, listen, there's 143 million properties. 6 to 10% of those properties are going to be in distress at all times. So that's what we focus on. And then you go down to your market, you focus on the 6 to 10 that have some sort of distress, and you make offers on those properties and you get deals. Tough business.
Yeah.
The toughest part about our business is shiny objects. The toughest part of our business is getting unfocused. The toughest part of our business is when it gets boring, and then we start getting creative, and then that's when we make all the mistakes. But if you just have conversations, make offers, you win.
You know, the other thing, Brent, that I'll be talking, I think, more and more about is and I can talk with you about this because I know you align with me on this mindset, this philosophy. I get a lot of heat for doing it, but I think I'm going to be a much stronger advocate in 2024 against buying and holding real estate.
Of course, bro.
I kind of just let it go because I know there's some benefit to it, and you know there's a place for it. But I'm just seeing too many new or newer investors holding assets way too soon, buying into this lie that somehow that cash flow is going to be, you know, it's going to create financial freedom in the near future. It's not.
Nope.
And I think it's causing a lot more harm. I think that's why the entire, you know, motivation class of tired landlord exists, because all these people buy into this false illusion that if they hold assets, somehow they're going to build wealth. And it's just not true for a long time. And I think I'm going to be more of an advocate about that. There is nothing better than a wholesale real estate business. No other business in the world can compare to a wholesale real estate business. Flipping can't, buying can, nothing can. With a short cash conversion cycle, literally self-fund your own growth, literally get started with such a small barrier to entry, small marketing budget to then start a business and create the kind of income. I mean, if you think about it, Brent, 3 deals a month at $14,000 on average is a $500,000 a year take to the bank income. Where else can you do that? You cannot do that. You would have to own hundreds of rentals to take that same money.
Look at this. Can you put on my iPad? This is literally my business, Jerry. Look at this. Right here. Look at the profit and counting. Second line up. 527, 248 profit and counting. Got another 6 weeks to close. That'll probably be closer to 600,000 by the end of the year. I work 5 hours in this business a week.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? There you go. Okay. I mean, look at that. That's everything. I'm open kimono right now. I'm so vulnerable right now to everybody. Right?
Text me that because I'm fascinated with your stats. I love the numbers in this business. When you get a second. Yeah. So put it guys, are you kidding me? Put that back up. Are you guys kidding me?
Yeah.
Show me somebody's portfolio that is doing this. Show me somebody's portfolio that hasn't been building their portfolio for 20 freaking years. Like, come on. This is insane.
Listen, I'm telling you, there's nothing like a wholesaling business. And listen, I don't work weekends. I don't think, I'm not thinking about plumbing issues and landlord issues and all these other issues. I'm going to use this as a cash machine to set up a hard money bank and lend money and ride off into the sunset. That's it. And I can't for the life of me, Jerry, understand anybody that buys real estate that's not in a highly appreciating area. You know what I mean? How about that? How about buying a property in an area that doesn't appreciate ever? There's no upside to it. All the costs go through that property.
You'll find this really funny, Brent. So one of my partners, he got this creative deal, and for a creative deal, it was amazing. It was like a 2.2 interest rate fixed, low entry fee, high cash flow. And he's like, Jerry, we should keep this one. We should keep this one. I'm like, absolutely not. We can wholesale it we wholesaled it. This was like a couple weeks ago for $25,000. And I said to him, what's the what do you think the cash flow is monthly? And he's like, oh, it's like $1,000 a month. And I said, one wholesale deal, you would have to own 25 of those for one wholesale deal a month.
Mhm.
Why in the world would we do that? And he's like, okay, you're right. And we wholesaled it. Like,
Yeah.
no, we are not keeping that.
I'm telling you, unless you're buying properties and paying them off and buying them cash, I can understand some of those in really good school districts. That's the only way that you have cash flow. But if you think that you're going to live off of your cash flow from rental properties in your first 20 years, you're just wrong. You got to own them for at least 20 years.
So that's the part that I have a real fundamental problem with, is this idea that your cash flow, when your cash flow exceeds your living expenses, you're financially free, which is just not true, because every dime in cash flow that property makes has to go back into the property at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And so you cannot bank that money ever, or for a long time. So, there's a time and a place, obviously.
Unless you own free and clear.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a time and a place for holding assets, but it's mostly for tax benefit, and that's it. So all these new people who don't have a tax liability that are holding assets, it's not the right time. You gotta build your ATM, right? Make your money printing machine, and then worry about your tax problem.
Yep, I have this right here. We just went over it. Right here, the 5 steps here. The discovery, that's when you first are enlightened. You're like, oh my gosh, you could do wholesale deals. And then the second is getting the proof of concept. You close your first one. Third, you start firing your boss. You can do this full time. Fourth, you start firing yourself from the roles. And 5, now you can buy the best deals. But you've got your ATM machine right here. You know what I mean?
If you think about it, in the beginning of your real estate journey, your priority is income, it's lifestyle, it's what you just outlined right there. It's not tax liability yet, and it's definitely not building wealth. You're not. It's just not developmentally time.
No.
So get to the fundamentals and build a wholesale business, and you will never. I've never met someone who built a $1 million wholesale business that regretted doing that and said, "Oh man, I wish I did something differently."
Oh, I wish I would have. I wish I would have gotten to development.
I wish I would have held properties instead of wholesaling them.
That's it. Jerry, you're the best. Thank you for being on here. We've got 165 people joining us. We're 3 hours and 38 minutes into this, and you just made it so much better. So thank you so much. I'm excited to see you next time, and we'll make sure to bring you on the show as often as we can sneak you in, as often as your schedule allows, I should say.
Anytime.
Thanks, Jerry.
Here. See
You're
you guys.
Best. See you, buddy. Jerry Norton, everybody. You just heard it. Really interesting. Really, really interesting. I totally agree with him. I've owned rental properties. I own rental properties. And nothing's like this machine. Nothing's like the wholesaling machine. I just showed you everything. Open kimono. No problem. Showed you the exact numbers of my business. I don't care. People that are doing more, doing millions or hundreds of millions or whatever. What's their net? What's their net? What are they putting into it? What's their net? Interesting, right? That's how you pay for a really nice lifestyle. Imagine having 40 grand a month to just, let's call it 35. Let's call it 30 for your mortgage, for savings, for vacations, for travel, for shopping, for whatever. The best groceries, the best supplements, the best schedule, right? That's the whole point. The whole point is to control the time we have left on this planet, to contribute. We feel best when we're in service to others, in my opinion. And so what do you want to do? How do you want to live the rest of your life? Who do you want to provide value to? Dimitri is netting 98% of it. I know you are. You're an animal. Listen, you're my hero. That's absolutely incredible. Dimitri is keeping all that money. I love it. Absolutely. Do we have any questions, or are we pretty light now? Is everybody just kind of sitting back and enjoying the show, which I appreciate? A lot of celebration. Well, let's end on celebrations, because this gives us time to get set up for Wholesale Hotline, and I can check my phone. I'm sure that there's 1,000 bazillion. Is there a lot of messages? Okay, so there's a lot of messages there. Kevin Moses, first off, locked up my first on-market deal, closing December 13th, $0 for acquisition, $5K assignment fee. Come on. Awesome. What else we got? Oh, we got one celebration. Okay. Thanks, Matt, for hyping that up. Oh, just a celebration. Okay. Well, congratulations, guys. Thank you for sticking around for the Brent Daniels Real Estate Show. We keep changing the name of this thing, but maybe this will stick. I don't know. But I hope that you enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, make sure that you guys subscribe. And make sure if you're ready, it's that time of year where we're making decisions in life. We're looking at next year. We're starting to figure out what we want to do. If you're interested in joining the most proactive group in real estate investing, it is the Rhino Tribe. Go and click that apply now at the website that you see right there, rhinoblackfriday.com, rhinoblackfriday.com. Also, if you're not ready, if you want to just dip your toe in and see what it's all about, see what our courses are filled with and what information and instruction that you get there, check out the Rhino Suite. That's an incredible value for the Rhino Suite there, and also the cold calling training. Check out all of those, guys. It is at rhinoblackfriday.com. I invite you to join the Rhino Tribe if you're ready to take it to the next level. I love you guys. I love being back. It's been a while. We haven't done a solo live show in a little bit. I really wanted to redesign it and rethink it, and I really appreciate you guys jumping on here and participating. Everybody in the Rhino Tribe, if you have been texting me, you know where I've been, so I'll make sure to be texting you back and responding to you back, and hopefully we're locking up some more deals, and we'll bring the crew in. Come on, Matt. Come on, Luke. Come on, Alejandra here running. Luke's been running the TikTok. Boom, there he is, newest member. Matt's been running everything, and Alejandra's been running Instagram. So, guys, we love you. Remember, keep your house clean. Right? Keep your house clean, your actual house and this house. Protect your health and increase your value to the world. You'll live a fantastic life. Till next time. Love you guys. See ya.